overpopulated. We're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream. Don't you know we're the walking dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking fear and hatred, dull and jaded. It's all been debated and manipulated. Nothing's ever as it seems. We're bound to believe everything they scream. Don't you know we're the walking dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead. Oh, 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 oh. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead. Oh, 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 oh. Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. Don't you know we're the walking dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking 'Cause I've been running this world without you, with no one at all, one way to fall, living this nightmare all through. What's new? I'm living without you, with no one at all, one way to fall, living this nightmare all through. What's new? I'm living without you. was you, but you left me alone inside these empty, broken walls. And I can't see it clearly, but it's obvious. I know that you left me alone inside this empty, broken hall. And now you'll be the reason why my soul is tainted. Somebody help me, 'cause I'm feeling trapped and I don't know what to do. There's no one to save me from this hurt I feel deep within my bones. Did you ever think of me and see the things I did? Sold my soul and everything, I was to the lowest bid. Crawled into your poison dome, yet every single time you got into my mind, you got into my mind. But all I ever wanted was you. But you left me alone inside this empty, broken wall. And I can't see it clearly, but it's obvious. I know that you left me alone inside this empty, broken hall. And now you'll be the reason why my soul is tainted. So how can I fix this? 'Cause I need to stop the aching in my head. My heart is breaking. Yeah, I'm tired of being stuck in the past. Did you ever think of me and see the things I did? Sold my soul and everything, I was to the lowest bid. Crawled into your poison dome, yet every single time you got into my mind, you got into my mind. But all I ever wanted was you. But you left me alone inside this empty, broken walls.
Hello, my fellow sim racers. We are back for the Sprint Series here in Asia Pacific, and what a track to return to. We're at Imola, the home of the 12 metres. Are we going to see that again tonight? Who the hell would know? I reckon we're a fair chance. But commentating Split Blue tonight, let's welcome Samwise Holmes, Alex Bowen, and Sean Muller. I hope I have got that right. How are we, gentlemen?
Doing great, Malik. How are you?
I'm flying, mate. Great to hear your voice again.
Absolutely. I am looking forward to some great Italian racing tonight.
Yeah, it should be absolutely fantastic racing at Imola once again.
Good to hear you again, Alex. How are you this fine evening?
I am rather well for someone who is still half sick, but yeah, it's interesting. It's cold, but hopefully the racing should heat things up a bit.
You know what? You can't tell. You sound great.
Thank you very much. You too, Samwise.
And what about you, Sean? Had a busy day?
Yeah, busy day on the grind, but just loaded myself up full of pizza, ready to hook into one of my favourite tracks in the world. So very excited to see how the Split Blue goes around Imola. I reckon we're going to see maybe a little bit of drama as well. So very excited for that.
Why is it your favourite track, Sean?
History. I'm a sucker for history in sport. So, and this track has plenty of history. Some of it not so great, but some of it great as well. And it's got some of the best corner names in the business, and I love corner names.
Are you going to have some fun history facts for us about Imola this evening?
Oh, hopefully I can get some, spit some out for you. Yeah, try my best.
Right. No pressure. We'll be flicking over to you every 20 minutes and expecting something brand new and exciting.
Oh, wow, you've really put the pressure on now.
Yes. All right, gents, I'll leave you to it. I'll see you in about 90 minutes. Best of luck.
Thank you. All right, so it is Split Blue. We are in this. It is now qualifying, so they are on their outlap now. So let's give you a quick rundown of the top runners currently in the Split Blue Championship. We are 2 rounds in, I believe. I believe we are on round 3 this evening. So we've had 2 runs at Silverstone and Misano so far in the last couple of weeks. Leading the Split Blue Championship is Matthew Lamb. In the BMW, and we've got Ashlyn Reynolds in the Audi coming up in position number 2, and Ali Kyrudin is our P3 at the moment. So they are currently the top runners. So that was Matthew Lamb, Ashlyn Reynolds, and Ali Kyrudin, who are 1, 2, and 3 on the tally up on the screen itself. So that is very convenient and not intentional. So looking forward to some great racing tonight.
Miracles can work wonders for you, Samwise.
So, what do you think, guys? What is our bet for what's the fastest car at Imola? Which make is going to top the quality leaderboards tonight?
Very good question.
Which requires a very good answer, if you've got one. What do we think? What's fast around here? Anything that can jump over curbs, right?
Yeah, so you'd think sort of like, Bentley, Mercedes, sort of like any of those front engine cars that have really beefy sort of looking suspension and just look big in general.
How does the M4 do around here? Any idea, Sean?
Well, I've done a whole 4 laps in the M4 because, well, it bores me to tears. But, yeah, I think it'll do quite well here. I also think the Ferrari will do well. You want something that can carry some really high corner speed as well, because it's some really tricky turns, especially down to Aqua Minerale, through Piratella as well. So I think it's a mixture of both. The McLaren should be pretty strong here as well.
That was possibly just outside of track limits for Kyrudin, so we're having a look at Kyrudin right now on his first flying qualifying lap. Now we know the first flyer is very much a banker these days. He used to be able to get those tires warm very, very quickly and straight into a fast flying lap, but I suspect that these are really just bankers. It is still valid though. I thought he'd gone a little bit too wide through Piratella. He hasn't, so good on him. And I believe right behind who we're looking at there, it is we've got Ashlyn Reynolds just behind that, and looks like the Audi of Reynolds has just backed off, so he won't be putting in any record times on this lap. Kyrudin will come across the line first, I believe. There we go, 142.1. And as suspected, Reynolds came across two and a bit seconds short of that. Wow, already into the 141s, low 141s. Goes Matthew Lamb.
Yep, straight at the top on the BMW, a 41.4. That is low-level flying.
Yeah, it's already very quick there from Matthew Lamb in the Gazoo BMW. That's an interesting livery. I don't mind that one.
We're going to have to start guessing who their favourite teams are, which I believe is what these liveries are based on.
That is correct. So it is sports theme night tonight here in OOR. So you'll see all the cars there in their favourite sports liveries, sporting teams, and well, their team names as well. So it should be a lot of fun. Of course, Gazoo being the motorsport branch of Toyota.
So we're watching the BMW right now, and seeing especially through the Villeneuve chicane, just absolutely flying over the top of those curbs. So that's the that is the BMW for you. Is that Reynolds again? Just backing off a lap in the Audi.
Yeah, it looks like he is. So, is he trying to get a slipstream maybe? Or I'm not too. Ooh, that looks a bit dicey there.
I think he might just not be quite warmed up to where he wants to be, because this is going to be the second lap in a row, and it is not a long qualifying. We're talking about current P2 in the championship. Reynolds has not yet put together a lap, so he's going to reset and go again. It looks like he is going for a bit of a run on the back of that BMW, and who better to be behind than Matthew Lamb?
Well, in the sprint series as well, qualifying is quite important because points are paid for qualifying. So you really want to get yourself up in that top 5. Every point counts in the championship. I'm not sure about the. I was going to say, I'm not sure about the team name though. The Nut.
I don't know, Sean. I'm quite a big fan of the team name that Ashton Reynolds has come up with. It's quite creative and unique and original, in my opinion.
I'm just trying to work out what it means.
It means the nuts. That there's nothing more to it. You don't need to add anything else to it. It just stands on its own.
So Ashland Reynolds taking the tight line through Tosa. So you've got two very distinct lines, and you'll see each car choosing one or the other, and it's very much about both car and about driver style. You've got those that hug that inside curve all the way around, and you've got those that take that slightly wider line coming in so that they can straighten up and shoot out at a bit of a straighter angle. What about you guys? What's your preferred take on Tosa?
I'm very much tight to the inside.
Yeah, I like taking a nice tight line, keeping it close to the curb. Occasionally I will stray a bit out, get a double apex, but most of the time I'll keep it tight just to try and make sure I don't overshoot the corner. Fair call. All right, so the last two corners. This is going to be Reynolds' first full flying lap. So definitely lost a little bit of time too. So he's not going to be hitting a time that's going to beat Matthew Lamb, because he has taken off further up the road than he was at the beginning of the lap. But that is, look at that, 5 tenths shy, but still P2. That M4 is flying up front. And it's not just Matthew Lamb who's flying in the M4. You've also got one of the Sonikai in P3, and you've got Rowe in P6. But God, the P5 down, it's very, very tight. So I'm having a look to see which of the Sonicuses this is, and it is JP Sonicus, currently in P3. And now I'm not sure if he's even on this leaderboard. I'm either completely blind, or this might be the first run he's done of Split Blue this season. So welcome to Split Blue, JP Sonicus.
And Page, I see he's a big rugby union fan, calls the Cheetahs Rugby from South Africa. So loving that livery as well. That looks, actually, I really like that, the burnt orange.
Okay, we've just had something come in from the stewards. Car 26 has been disqualified from qualifying for pit lane speeding.
Ooh, ouch.
So car number 26, that is... yeah, I don't know.
That was Villanueva in the Ferrari. No, might not be. I'm looking at the wrong number.
117. That is not correct. they are still out on track.
Sorry, 26 is Benjamin Piper in the Nissan.
No, 26 is Shaquille in the McLaren.
Hang on.
Yep, Shaquille right at the bottom there in the 26 with the DSQ right next to it.
Yeah, there we go. So unfortunately, that McLaren will be starting from the back of the grid for the race. Let's jump back up, because we have a lot of cars who are on their final flying lap, and we've got probably nearly half the field who's going to start a new flying lap over the next 40 seconds. So remember, you do get to continue and finish the lap you're on. So if you pass the control line before the timer gets to 0. So there is still a couple laps, except our top 3 have locked in those times. They will not get another lap. They are all in the pits. And Clipano has taken over Reynolds for that P2 spot in the Lamborghini. You don't see a lot of Lamborghinis topping the boards at Imola. I'm excited by that.
Yeah, it's Probably not as popular of a car for this track, but it's good to see Corpano putting it to good use. So to Van Vliet in P8.
So we're on board with Rowe at the moment, currently sitting P10. And will, by the looks of it, get another flying lap. So will be one of the final ones to finish. A lot of you can have a look on, see next to the names of the P means they're in the pits. All right, we are riding on board here with Rowe for this lap. Oh, up ahead, right in the sand goes whoever that is. So Rowe, half a tenth up. Now half a tenth is potentially worth no positions. He does need he needs 1.5 tenths to gain any positions in this top 10 run. Oh, just leaves a little bit left on the table there through Piratella, through Aqua Minerale now. Love that set of corners. Absolutely love it. And he's gained. He's a tenth up now.
I think in Piratella he maybe used a bit too much of the inside curb. The car bounced around quite a bit, and that left him unsettled going out to the outside of Piratella on the exit, which made him lose probably about a tenth of his time. But he's gained a lot of that back now, 2 tenths up going into the final corners at Ravazza.
That's right. He's 2 tenths. He's now 4 tenths up currently. So he must have had. Oh, that's a little bit of a shaky final corner. In fact, he's losing a lot of time on that corner. He's actually going to lose it all. He was 4 tenths up. Second last turn. Unfortunately, in the last turn, he's not even going to raise a position here, unfortunately. He's going to finish P11. Unfortunately, that was a really, unfortunately not a great final corner, but he had a really good run before that. Nearly got himself up a couple of positions there.
Yeah, really unfortunate there for Rowe. He was having a good lap and then just lost it all at that final corner. Maybe just a bit too early on the turn in, just left it a bit too tight and had to slow down a bit too much on the exit.
But the key is he knows the pace is there. He's in a good car for this track. Look, number 1 and 2. In fact, Sonicus, JP did jump up to P2, which we did miss. Lamb has secured himself on that top spot. Sonicus is P2. Clopano and Reynolds are the second row for this race. Piper and Kai Rudin are our third row. And that is a very nice, colourful grid. I'm liking this. Everybody being forced to go for their team colours means we have a very rainbow grid this evening. And we're going to do our lovely little cycle through the cars. So there it is. Lamb, Sonicus on the right, Clopano there on the right there, Reynolds on the left. Coming past Piper and Kai Rudin here. Hignett and Nipris on the left there. Van Vliet and then Bab on the left. Rowe in the BMW there on the right. Paz on the left, Herbert and Villanueva, Sarkis and Phillips, Sakanius and McLean, Charles Clark, Sean Bubb now there on the left in the Bentley, Lee and Taylor, and that's where we go no further. And we're on board with Crossland. There we go. So Crossland, McClaws, 23rd and 24th on the grid. Renfry and Malloy. Bishop and Wood there in the Lexus on the left. Mance and Warren. Ferguson and Bendai. Look at Bendai in the Audi right there.
No, dear, oh dear.
Glorious, glorious looking Audi. Mishra and Madford. And I will say others.
And here we have what I can assume is the safety car.
The Jag.
Very, very nice safety car livery for this season 9. Now everybody's got 25 seconds to finalize their setups, put in enough fuel, and remember we have a 1-hour race ahead tonight.
1 hour of 12-meter action.
Now, remind me, gentlemen, what do we know? We got 1 or 2 pit stops for this evening.
Well, after my kerfuffle with the numbers, I'm a little now.
Looks
well, I
like
mean, by the looks of it, yeah, one mandatory pit stop.
One stop. Number 1. 1 mandatory stop for in 60 minutes. So now the tire wear is definitely plays a much bigger factor than it has in previous years. It is not kind. This track especially is not kind on tires. You wouldn't want to be the car doing too long a stint. It used to be a great strategy to get in the pits really early, because you don't lose sort of too much pace time on slightly heavier fuel. But if you got into the pits early, you could have that fresh air time to try and get some track position whilst everybody else is fighting. So after they've cycled through their pits, then even if you're slightly slower, then at the end of the race you can fend them off from a better. You've got track position over them. Now I don't think it's quite as easy. I think the fuel plays a slightly heavier impact on the car. I think it really disturbs your lap time even more, and I believe that the tires just are that much worse for wear. Pun not intended.
Yeah, 100%.
When you've done long stints, I think a 20-minute stint is enough to really mess with those tires and really start impacting lap times. So I think they're going to have to be careful, and then the majority of drivers are going to want to pit pretty damn close to that 30-minute mark, so they get a fairly even spread. But it also means the undercut or the overcut could be quite effective.
Agree with all that. I was literally going to say the undercut. I think we'll see a few undercuts tonight, especially if you're stuck in traffic and you feel like you've got a pace advantage. And it's one of those weird pit lanes as well. Spits you out right onto the main part of the straight, and they're doing over 250 kilometres an hour. So you've got to be careful of that as well. And of course, as they go into Tamburello, it's just a real tricky part when you've got cars coming out and you're coming out the pit lane. So you really got to have your eyes on.
Absolutely. See, the thing is that you would normally have a potential overcut advantage if the tires don't play as much a part in it, which they didn't used to play as big a part. Then you have this overcut advantage where the fuel is the thing that's playing the big part. And if somebody goes into the pits and you stay out, you are then running on, 10 liters left in the tank while they're running on their 30 minutes worth of fuel. So they're running with 70 liters still in the tank. So a lot of things to consider as we go in. Now we are watching, look right at the front row of the grid. That is Lamb on the left, Sonicus on the right, then Clopano and Reynolds behind them. They are the top two rows that we are looking at as we head towards the green flag, coming up towards, and don't count out the two behind, because you've got Kai Rudin and Piper, who are both quick guns, and we are almost at the control line. That is the control line right at the front, just here. And it's green flag and we are off. It looks like that BMW's got an excellent start. It looks like Sonicus might need to defend the inside from the Lamborghini. So far, front three rows, nice and cleanly through the first couple of turns. This is always the danger zone. We've got a little bit of tagging in the back, but so far nobody spun around, which for Imola is a huge achievement, and I am not going to curse it by saying that that was a perfect start, but so far, incredibly clean. Let's see, there's a lot of two wides going through here. Very, very dangerous. Somebody out in the sand.
Oh, 3 wide here into toes. Oh, sorted out.
A little bit of a dive up the inside. Now this is a testament to Octane Online Racing here. To get through those first two chicanes with no big incidents is a remarkable achievement, regardless of what happens on the rest of the lap. This is Kai Rudin really fighting with the steering wheel. Those cold tires are not doing nice for the McLaren.
That is major props to Split Blue here. They have put together a mega clean start here to really show Split Red later on.
Hang on.
Don't want to be going 3 wide through there. They have done a great job at sorting themselves into a single-ish formation. And I say single-ish because of the Ferrari running wide. Oh, and unfortunately that Ferrari, if they're not careful, they're going to have, is that an Aston jumping down the inside?
No, I think that's a BMW.
No, it is a BMW. That's Sakanius in the BMW. Thinking better of it, thinking, nope, on cold tires, I'm going to take it easy. That is our number 26, Shaquille, who is parked just past turn 2. So I imagine that car is potentially going to be kicked off the track pretty fast. That is car number 26, who was DQ'd from qualifying as well. So unfortunately, not a great start to.
Oh, that's a dive from the Porsche, was it? Oh,
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 no,
there we
unfortunately, we have our first big incident. So it was a dive. It was clean through turn 1, but unfortunately turn 2 has got them. They look like they can both get back in though, so that does not look like race-ending injuries. So carry on, fellas.
looked like
Lamb
that
just-
was Clark and Lee who came together there, with Lee diving down the inside of Clark trying to follow the Bentley through.
Absolutely. So looks like our top 4 has only changed very slightly from the grid. So Clapano did get jumped by Reynolds, but Lamb and Sonicus are still number 1 and 2 in those M4s. So clean start from them, and then you've got Kai Rudin and Piper still in their same positions as well, in positions 5 and 6. So front 3 rows of the grid, very, very clean, stayed in formation. So it might come down more to strategy as to what happens from here. Looking a little bit further afield, that's the Lexus of Phillips, with a lovely looking sky blue and white McLaren on his backside.
I do like the name of Phillips's Lexus, livery lacking Lexus, obviously pointing out the fact that that Toyota kind of sucks.
And well, I mean, they unfortunately cannot participate in the Sports Night Fun because they cannot give us a custom livery, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a
And-
shame.
And sure, Bubner in the Torva Mesora Racing. That's it.
Having a look.
Oh, what a dive! Huge dive there in the Tamburello. Beautiful move.
Ah, and pulls it up perfectly. That was an excellent move from Sean. Did not go. Oh, and he's got another one, and he's passed the Ferrari as well. Very
Believe that
clean.
Ferrari had a bit of a trip over the gravel as Bub now has a trip over the curb there.
Oh,
Car
he-
went right
Bentley.
into the air.
In the Bentley, he just shakes it off and moves on. It doesn't give a damn.
He wouldn't have even felt that.
Yeah.
Villanueva definitely not happy with himself for putting those toes in the gravel, so he's going to be chasing down Sean to try and steal that position back from the Bentley. So this is definitely an interesting battle here to watch. They've got a little bit of a gap to the cars in front, to Zakanius in the BMW up ahead.
Villanueva's livery gives me a real reminds me a lot of the Iron Lynx Ferrari livery that they're running in the I believe the GT World Challenge.
Definitely does have a bit of that Lynx feel to it. 100% would agree with that. I do like a black Ferrari. Just very nice.
Black Ferraris always look fantastic, and I'm a sucker for a bit of pink on cars.
Oh, Reynolds here looking at Sonega's head. Oh, is he going to go for the move? Up at Tamburello, pulls to the outside. Oh, that's risky around there. He's going to try the Max Verstappen here. Oh, that's a great move. Fantastic
That
move
was-
by Reynolds.
All
What
the
a
way
move.
around the outside. But this is going to be Sonicus with a little bit of a run. No, that Audi has managed to not just go all the way around the outside, but keep his speed up all the way through. That's excellent driving from Reynolds. That was a fantastic move to watch.
Oh, that was fantastic. Wonderful move there from Reynolds, going all the way around the outside to get past Nikas. That is just... These are some of the best drivers in Asia Pacific, and that shows it.
Absolutely, absolutely agreed. So, Sean, time to put you on the spot. We need some fun facts about Imola. Give us some history.
So, in F1 in 1991, a pre-qualifier actually made it to the podium at Imola. And it was JJ Leto. That's right, correct. So, early F1 in the early 90s, there was pre-qualifying. So, you had to pre-qualify to qualify to race. And JJ Leto, in a very bad car, made it on the podium.
Wasn't he driving for Scuderia Italia?
Very good, Alex. Top of the class, sir.
Yeah, it was his only F1 podium as well, I'm pretty sure.
That is correct.
Jumping back to the racing briefly, the Audi is put. No, unfortunately, he's going to lose all of that good work he's done in making that move. He's put a couple of toes in the sand just on the way out of the final corner, and that has let Sonicus back ahead. This battle for P2 has heated up, and that is allowing the Lamborghini of Clopano to get nice and close as well, who's definitely hoping that they battle just a little bit more to give him an opportunity to make a move here. But unfortunately for Reynolds, he has just given his hard work away, and I'm hoping we can see a little bit more, even more back and forth between these two, because that's been a great scrap so far.
No, I reckon he just wants to try the move again just to see if he can get a repeat. But yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that he stuck his toes into the gravella.
It's good. I like it. I like it. So Lamb, 3.5 seconds up the road. He is loving the fact that these two are going at it. So if he keeps things clean, he could very well take out the race in 50 minutes time. Long race ahead though. I'm very excited to see where this battle ends up, because that Audi has not left the back of that BMW this whole lap. There is going to be another run up the front straight, I'm certain of it.
100%. If I mean, Reynolds, as long as he doesn't get the same exit he did last time, he should be able to get that slipstream from the BMW to try and nip up the inside, or maybe another sneaky outside move again. But let's see.
It's very clean from Sonicus, so I wouldn't be surprised if Reynolds doesn't quite get an opportunity on this lap, because that was an extremely clean final corner there. So he might definitely have to defend just to be certain, but I don't think this is an around the outside worthy move here, and I think Reynolds is smart enough not to go for the dive from quite that far back, so he's going to stick in close. Oh, a little bit uncertain in the front of that Audi, going through the first chicane, Tamburello chicane, that is.
There you go. So we jump back to see Villanueva on Crossland. It holds back for now, but I'm sure he'll be... Oh, never mind.
Oh.
There we go. That will get him the move done. Just
Right.
Crossland just going off a bit, unfortunately. Maybe a bit too throttle happy. Oh, that's close.
Oh, that was always going to happen.
Lewis didn't like the livery either, and has gone for a big dive on Bendai. And we're looking now. Oh, here we go. So we've got a little battle pack here. So this is Warren in the Honda that we're having a look at, and that is that is right behind the Lexus of Mans, who's not going to be feeling too comfortable right now.
Mr. Mike check.
Love this part of the circuit. Acqua Minerale, just a fantastic sequence of corners. Great in the dry, not so great in the wet.
Oh,
he's
great
got the great run. Whoa, look at that. Corner speed everywhere. He's going to put him on the outside though for Variante Alta.
Do you try it around the outside? Oh, this is going to be too wide. We'll see how this plays out. Not normally kindly, and it didn't for either of them. In fact, they might both lose the position. At the very least, that Honda is going to lose it. So I think that's going to be... Is that Bishop who's going to jump ahead of them in the BMW? I think it is.
Yep, that was Bishop who got ahead there of Warren. Yeah, you're never going to fit too wide there at Variante Alta.
No, you have to be very, very kind to each other, especially the car on the inside has to be extremely kind to you if you want to try something around the outside, or somebody just has to absolutely go for it. So unfortunately, yeah, not gonna play out too well, but ultimately they're still both on track, so they've done something right.
Looking there at Maidford. Currently in the Porsche. Smart guy. Currently they're in 28th position. Just
We're
got
looking at a couple penalties coming in now, so we've got 10 seconds for Clark, 10 seconds for Lee, and 10 seconds for Peffy Bridge at this stage.
Isn't Imola just a fantastic track? Just looking through it, you know, those first two chicanes, both of them potentially deadly in their own way. These guys are coming out of Acqua Minerale there, which is just such a glorious looking corner too. up to this back chicane, which is, I think its official name is Pain in the Ass chicane.
Yes, it's definitely a pain in the ass for some of these cars that are quite low to the ground. But yes, I would agree. Imola is a fantastic track. One of my all-time favorites to drive.
Yeah, I actually completely agree. May not be the best at it, but absolutely agree that it is great to drive. So the Variante Alta is the name of that final chicane. Its translation to English is the high variant. I
That's
think
right.
it definitely is a high variant of different ways that it can throw your car unexpectedly.
Well, Variante is Italian for variant. There you go.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Alta makes sense for high, altitude. I don't know. That makes sense to me that there's a correlation there. This is a nice little battle here. We've jumped away from it, but it was between Bubnow and Sakania, so we'll see on the timing board whether that goes out. But I think it's time to give a bit of a shout out to Lamb. 3.6 seconds up the road, so he's not pulling out too much time on Sonicus. So I think that battling really hurt them back in P2, P3. Because it's not the case that Lamb just has ultimate pace over everybody, because 3.8 seconds, given the amount of battling between Sonicus and Reynolds, is not that far ahead. Look,
Yeah.
these guys are magnets to each other.
I reckon once pit stops start coming into the fray, I reckon we could see some variation in the complexity of this race at the front with Sneakers had to defend here. That might leave the door open there for Reynolds to maybe have a go inside someone, but Sneakers just gets such a good run out of the final corner now.
Yeah, the Audi's very tricky on throttle these days with the LMS2. So
It's always been tricky on throttle, hasn't it? Otherwise Audi things wouldn't exist.
In my opinion, wheel spin hasn't been as crazy before.
Oh, up the
the
inside.
That is very tricky.
Oh, slight
He
touch.
does have it. Definitely a slight touch, but he did. Oh no!
Oh,
Unfortunately, lost it on the throttle. As we were saying, he is now back in P4, but that is a move for P2 happening up ahead. Who's going to be braver? Sonicus stays around the outside. The Lamborghini wasn't too brave on it, but stays around the outside. They are up the inside now, coming into the hairpin. That is going to be a position for P2 unless Sonicus hold it around the outside. They have been going too wide now for 5 turns. So this is potentially going to be a Sonicus win out. If he holds that position, which he has, I am extremely impressed.
That was a fantastic exchange.
How he held that around Tosa, I applaud to you. Oh, but he goes too far over the second part of Aqua Minerale over those curves, and yet it does not disturb the BMW one bit.
That was, fantastic display between Sneakers and Quapano, but all that has done is extend Lamb's lead out to 8 seconds now.
Yeah, there's no surprise there. But the Reynolds car is now behind both Piper and Kairuden, so he had pulled a gap on them before, so we'll definitely see some interesting runs here. Oh, he's going to stay out. In fact, it looked like he was going to pit, or he was just trying to get the lasting slipstream from them. But this is an opportunity for Reynolds to try and snag back those 2 positions. If he really does have the pace on them, he should stay out for another couple laps, if not another 10-15 minutes. In fact, it's really interesting that P4 and 5 just pit.
I was just going to say that's a bit early. That's quite early, isn't it?
Yeah, they've both done it. So I guess one has gone in to try and stave off the undercut potentially, and the other one hasn't chosen to roll the dice at all on staying out.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy call, but we'll see if that pays off later on in the race.
Yeah, I get the feeling. My gut says that pitting 17 minutes into a 1-hour race, given ACC in its current form, I would not call that brilliant strategy. But who knows what they've got up their sleeves? Perhaps if their goal is just to try and get track position, go out on brand new tires and just go hard and then defend for the final 20 minutes of the race, then perhaps that's a good strategy. Or perhaps their particular cars could be excellent on tire wear around here. We don't know what kind of setups people are running.
Well, the good part for both of them here, they come out in real nice, clean air, so they can really just get the heads down and just start setting those, as I'd say, those Michael Schumacher-style qualifying laps.
Yeah, I mean, I would also probably point out that I think they were in clean air before, apart from each other.
They were not in clean air because they
were
just
not?
caught up to the battle between Copano and Sneakers as they were battling
seeing
so
an
hard.
opportunity to overtake Copino and Sonicus potentially might be the justification behind this move, and maybe it pays out for them. Maybe they are able to right now on brand new tires, despite the very heavy fuel load. You know, Sonicus is probably running what, you know, hypothetically he put in 65 liters, something like that, to go half an hour. Right, he's what, on 30 liters, something like that now.
Yeah, you'd expect something like that.
Something like that, and these guys have just, you know, theoretically started on 65, put in their second 65, and they're currently, or 60 or whatnot, they could be running 120 liters to Sonicus's 30 liters. So that 90 liter difference does weigh down the cars and does slow you down. So I wonder whether the tires, the brand new set of tires, are going to make that much of a difference that they can improve on Sonicus's lap times enough to be able to make that undercut happen in 10 minutes time.
I wouldn't expect them to be running 120 liters, 41 minutes to go in a race. You'd more expect around, at this point, at most 100.
That was a pure hypothetical, but yeah, I think it should be, for 40 minutes, it should be something like, yeah, rough 85 to 90 liters, something along those lines, versus potentially only 20 to 25 liters for Sonicus. So definitely exaggerating a little earlier, but there's definitely a big difference. Whatever it is, it's quite significant, their fuel load differences, and that's going to make a big difference as far as whether this undercut will happen or not.
Yeah.
What they're going to be hoping is that Clopano can stay on Sonicus and put on a little bit of pressure so that Sonicus has to do some defending, and also that they don't have to get into too much fighting with each other, which will also slow down and prevent their strategy from coming to fruition as well.
Got something in chat just that could be playing into it. Perhaps they mistook this round for a two-stop, as the first round was 2 mandatory pit stops.
It's possible if they're pitting at the 15-minute mark. It's very possible that they intended to do it. They think that they might be doing a second stop. I hope somebody has told them they don't have to.
Well, they're in for a bit of a rude shock at around 30 minutes to go. Oh, look, I just saw that battle there. I was just watching that. Looks like it was between Nippers and... We're looking at Crossland at the moment, but that was a nice battle there. Crossland in the BMW. He's got McLaws right behind him in the Ferrari. Well, the Honda, sorry. Well, it looks like a Ferrari. It's close enough.
Close-ish. I'd say it looks slightly more like an Audi. It's a bit of an Audi Ferrari cross. Yeah. Depending on the livery, I get them mixed up a little.
I always get nervous when they come into Variante Alta and they're sort of side by side a little bit. You just like, ooh, you sort of just lean back a little bit.
So we're looking at that was the gap between Clopano and Sonicus, and this is P3. So Reynolds, who was given that clean air, so we will see whether Reynolds, who was behind Kai Rudin and Piper when they pit, so Kai Rudin and Piper pit at the same time. Reynolds was behind them at the time, so we will get our answer as to which strategy was better very soon, since I believe that all three of them are in mostly clean air. So it's all just about lap times now. It's just about where is Reynolds and his tyre wear at this point in the game, 22 minutes into the race, versus Kai Rudin and Piper way back in the field with their pit stop completed on their brand new tyres.
Thank you, Mr. Race Director. This is the battle I was looking at. Nippers and Hignett in the two big fat bulls, that is the GTR and the Bentley. These guys have been going toe-to-toe for quite a few laps now. It's interesting, they're sort of similar size cars, but they drive completely different, these two things. Never got my head around the GTR and the Bentley. It sounds amazing, but I'm definitely not a fan of it.
Yeah, as someone who's driven both cars, there's definitely things that you can see similar, but there's a lot of things that are very different in the way they drive. Nissan, you sort of got to be really on the short shifting to get that speed on the straight with the turbo, while Bentley, you've got to be really careful with your throttle to make sure you don't step the rear end out. Like, it's a nice and stable car for the most part, but there are definitely times where you want to be really careful with the throttle input that you use. But either way, both of these cars can take a fair chunk of the curb.
Yeah, the Bentley just getting a possibly a fraction too wide, either slightly too wide off the final turn, or that Nissan is just absolutely fantastic up the straight. But look at the Bentley just jumping over those curbs like they're nothing, and able to gain so much time there through the Villeneuve chicane. Coming through Tosa now, so these guys are just magnets for each other. That Bentley's just biding their time, waiting for the right moment, trying to stay on the back all the while. Coming now, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, I was just going to say, just watching them both, the front ends of both cars, you can see where the Nissan has strengths and the Bentley has strengths. Just seems to be on initial turning that the Bentley's just a little stronger, but then through the mid corner, the GTR seems to pull a little gap. So I love watching battles like this between two different makes. It's just fascinating. But oh, look at him! He's getting really aggressive here because he drove in the Porsche Cup last night. So talk about skill set. Porsche Cup car straight into a Bentley.
That Bentley just went for it over the top of the chicane at Variante Alta. So just absolutely threw itself over a little bit too hard, because then he went over those ripple strips on the outside. But look at that. We have the Nissan into the pits, and this is going to be Hignett out. So let's see what happens with Hignett, whether they're going to pit on the next lap. But I would like to see what happens there. So we're going to have Nissan or Bentley coming out on top after the pit stop. And this is Kai Rudin here. Kai Rudin, and so Piper is in front of Kai Rudin at the moment. That is the other narrative that we're following to see how they come out in relation to our top three runners. So we want to see whether they come out near Ashland Reynolds. Ashland Reynolds, who's in fourth currently. Sorry, my mistake. Oh, a lot of people diving into the pits.
Clark, did you see that? He had a late change of mind there.
I think he was trying to get the slip. I think people are trying to get the slipstream and then getting caught out when the other car starts braking just after they get onto the front straight. So people have got to be careful there. They're not going to rear-end anyone who's trying to get into the pits.
Yeah, they've got to be real careful, otherwise that could end in disaster for drivers who just maybe are a bit close and then suddenly, oh, guy in front coming into the pits brakes. No, can't do much about that.
So we'll keep an eye on the where the top five, when the top five are pitting, so that we can see what happens with our early stoppers and how that might have played into their hands. At the moment, a really good battle here happening between, that was Taylor and Crossland. Back to Kai Rudin here, that's who we're looking at. So Kai Rudin has pit already. Niparis is behind, so of those who've pit, Piper is in front, Kai Rudin and Niparis. So Piper has managed to get that position on Kai Rudin, who's lost quite a lot of time. So Piper is 4.8 seconds ahead of Kai Rudin at the moment. So but he's only half a second behind Pethybridge, who hasn't yet pit. So he's now going to be coming into a little bit of traffic, which might hinder.
No, he's gotten past Pethybridge.
Yeah, but either way, he's a little bit of traffic doesn't do many favors for you when you're trying to make an undercut work.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah. Piper does have a fair gap in front of him though, 7.6 seconds to Lewis, and then a further 9.2 seconds in front after Lewis. So
That's good. That's clean air. So definitely, so Piper's the one to follow as far as where he comes out in relation to Reynolds and Clapano, who he was right behind with Kyron when he went into the pit. So we're still following that one. This is Lamb going past a back marker. Keeping it clean. Huge props to Split Blue. This has been an extremely clean race at one of the most dangerous tracks on the calendar. So huge props to Split Blue, really showing what Octane Online Racing is made of.
It's great to see. It's fantastic, and I also think a nice, dry, clear track, nice, bright Italian sunshine has a bit to do with it as well. You add a little bit of moisture to this place, and it changes very quickly.
Could not agree more. So, what do you so preferred tactic into Aqua Minerale, guys? I'd like to hear from you. A small break before the first right-hander, or send it through the right-hander, save all the braking for later.
Well, I'm a Porsche man, so I like a small break, just to settle it down and get it through. Because once you get it through in the Porsche, it's just hold on for dear life. Every time you tip it into Aqua Minerale in the Porsche, you do say a little prayer to the racing gods.
I mean, it depends on the car. Okay, sometimes I'll go a small break, other times I'll go a bit of a lift before I leave the braking all for the end. But it's definitely one of those interesting ones. As we see, Reynolds is coming to the pit, so this will be an interesting one to watch.
Yeah, this is the one we want to see, what happens with Reynolds. So we got the word from Race Control that Piper and Caruden pit at the same time as we were following, so Piper got him in the pits, not on the track. So we are seeing the Audi coming out of the pits right now of Reynolds. It looks like he might be a long way ahead of Piper, who's just coming across the control line now. So that is quite a significant gap, whereas they were pretty close to each other at the time when Piper went into the pits. So whether or not Piper had any other troubles on track, it's hard to say, but for certain the Audi did not lose out from staying out of the pits 15 minutes longer than Piper. So the undercut, at least in that instance, has not worked.
I think Reynolds also put in a little bit of a hero stint then after his little excursion off. I reckon he just got the head down and just pumped out some serious laps.
Look at him in traffic here though, into Aqua Minerale, right behind. Is he going to try something down the inside of Aqua? He's not. He's going to stay in behind, but he wants that position from Renfrey.
Be dangerous to try and move at Aqua Minerale, but he's going to have a move up the inside of Variante Alta and gets it done.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Renfrey played it nice there, let him get it done. So that was very good of him. Didn't fight it. It's always, you don't want to go battling too hard with somebody has got the pace on you. So Clapano, here he is, in the Lamborghini, still has not pit yet. We're at the 30-minute mark, so we expect that the majority of the field are going to pit somewhere around now, give or take a few laps. Though I don't suppose it'll be too crazy to see a whole lot of the field in the pits this lap. Just have to wait and see.
Well, except if you're Lamb, he could do what he likes. He'd probably stop off, get a cannoli, maybe a nice espresso as well.
He'll just do it when he feels like it. And but he'll actually, you know what, Lamb will probably wait until the field has all pit, because as Lamb, you don't want to be coming out in traffic at all. If you've got the seconds to spare, which he does, you would stay out to make sure that when you do your pit stop, you come out in the position you're meant to, and you're not coming out in the middle of traffic in, P10 somewhere.
Yeah, traffic here's a bit of a nightmare actually. In terms of passing, like, it's a great track now, but there's actually not a lot of passing opportunities. And the ones that there are there, you've really got to have someone beside you that's on the same page.
We talked about the hero stint from Reynolds. Clapano is in the pits from P3. Reynolds was in P4. So there's something for us to follow. Reynolds is just being hampered by some of this traffic. So if he wants to get that position, he doesn't want to be having to fight his way through the field in order to get there. But he's coming through the back chicane now, down towards Ravazza. I suspect he's going to come out behind, but we'll have to wait and see if there's an opportunity for him to battle for a podium position for the end. Yeah, Clopano's coming out now, so it looks like Clopano is going to be safe, quite safe from Reynolds.
Oh, so it's going to be a little closer.
Closer than we thought, but he's definitely out and he's making his way down towards turn 1. So he's definitely safe at the moment, but Reynolds has got the warmer tyres, so he'll gain a little bit on this next lap as well.
Yeah, I think he's had a small net gain over Clopano, but we'll see what that ends up being towards the end of this race.
Sonicus also in the pits now. We know that Clopano pit a lap earlier. Clopano and Sonicus were the ones battling pretty tightly for P2. So there is another little pit versus track battle for us to keep an eye on. Here we go. Look at it. The thrilling still car in the pits. Clopano on track. Coming through Aqua Minerale now.
Got Bendik ahead, who's yet to pit in his interesting coloured Audi.
Clopano will just be hoping that he doesn't get held up. He wants to keep this clean, see whether the undercut has anything to go for. Oh, that is not ideal for him. Lose a bit of time coming out of Variante Alta.
Sneakus is moving in pit lane.
He's got a long way to go. I think this is potentially quite tight.
I think Clopano's a bit too far back. I reckon Sneakus will have enough of a gap here.
I think he'll get there, but it's not going to be that. It's going to be pretty. It's still going to be pretty tight coming down towards turn 1. He's definitely got the position, but they will be very close come turn 1.
Oh, this definitely has tightened up, and of course. Sonicus here, he's got to warm up his tyres in that BMW. Clopano's already got a nice warm set of Pirellis on the Lamborghini, so he's in full attack mode here. Ooh, a little double take of the steering wheel there through Villeneuve.
I go so far as to say that at no instance so far this race have we seen the undercut be effective. But we have seen we've seen that the overcut has been more effective than the undercut. So the 3 battles that we've watched so far.
Race leader is in.
Race leader is in the pits. Miles ahead. But let's see. We'll see what happens there. We're pretty confident in Matthew Lamb at the moment, but temporarily the race lead goes to Marcus van Vliet. So until the rest of the field pits, Matthew Lamb will give away that lead position. Nice dive there.
Very opportunistic. Of course, we do have a question coming in from one of the favourites on chat, Ultimate Local. Question for the commentators: What's the best engine for you to own for your own project car? Open-ended question, that one. Well, I'll just go straight from the top. Anything that's flat 6 and is from Stuttgart in Germany. Job done.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
I'm not going to pretend to know, so good question, and I do not have an answer for you. I'm sorry.
I reckon the whatever the Audi R8 V10 used. I'm not sure whether that was an in-house Audi engine or where it was sourced from like Porsche or something or Volkswagen. But yeah, that V10 is just magnificent.
Is that the same engine that they use in some of the Lamborghini models?
Correct.
Well, there you go. I knew something. Pat on the back for me. All right, we need another historical fact. So over to you, Sean. What do you got for us?
Green Areas. The Aqua Minerale Park is located next to the Santero River on the hills of the city of Imola. The park was created in the beginning of the 20th century.
Oh, we're gonna hold up on that one. We did have somebody smashing into a wall. It looks like it's McLean. who is...
That was Bub now.
Oh, was Bob now, was it? That is very, very unfortunate for him. We've watched a couple of good battles from him.
I hate to say it, but I think there may have been maybe just the slightest little bit of contact from behind from our current race leader, Van Vley.
Ooh.
We'll have
So
to...
are we suspecting that's coming with an invoice?
It very well might from the stewards, so we'll have to wait and see that. Now, I'm going to have to insist that you continue the fun fact. Sean Muller, we need to hear it.
So, yes, the park was created in the beginning of the 20th century, and the discovery of mineral water occurred there in 1830.
The discovery, like, is in the first discovery of mineral water?
Well, no, the discovery of mineral water was there in 1830, and if you know mineral water, there's a brand called Aquapana, and that's actually from that region.
Good to know. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Fun facts about Imola. There you go. Now that concludes our segment called Fun Facts About Imola. We'll come back to that segment a little bit later.
There may be a quiz later in the day.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, just getting past a back marker there, but sticking on the back of Sonicus is Clapano. Currently in effective P3 position once Van Vliet has pit, which he is currently in the process of doing now. But really, really fighting for that P2 position. So this has been really good racing from these guys.
I do like Van Vliet's strategy here, though. Like, he's come in already, but I just like that going a little bit extra longer. You know, just something a little bit different. I do like a little bit of an alternate strategy. I do like that livery too, by the way.
Well, we have found that the overcut has been more effective so far, so I'm going to say Van Vliet with the with the optimum strategy, last one to pit. Can't hurt. In fact, all of our research over the last 39 minutes suggests that that is potentially the better of the strategies.
I think the best strategy in this race has just been keeping out of traffic.
100% agree there.
And I reckon at a point, the overcut is no longer worth it because you just have so much traffic ahead of you that you can't really get past because they're all cars that have pit and potentially going faster than you.
I think also because it's one of those circuits that besides Varianti and Tosa, it's a lot of medium speed corners. So it's really difficult to sort of have a real advantage over someone.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It's just so tight in terms of how times go. But I will say Van Vliet has managed to get ahead of Kyrune, is 5/10 behind Piper in P5.
That's so I believe he was in that position. I think he was behind Kyrune.
Yeah, he was behind Kyrune, as we see a bit of a move from Zaskus?
Not sure what happened there. I think Zaskus got surprised about how fast he pulled up on McLean. Whether McLean lifted off or something like that coming towards the Tamburello chicane. It seemed from, at least from the perspective we were watching, it seemed like a bit of a surprise for that McLaren who had to back off a little bit there. There's another battle here. Crossland, who is fending off the Honda, I believe. I think we're watching Crossland fending off Taylor. Or somebody's going to have to defend into Tosa because that Honda wants it. He's going a little bit wider, try and get a bit of a cutback.
That Honda's going to be very quick through the corners. It's a quick and nimble car is the Honda.
I think people underestimate, though, how wide that
Oh,
thing
that's
is.
a lot of curve.
Huge moment.
That was a massive moment all the way over onto the grass. And that is a position for Taylor in the Honda, who has gotten it.
Yep, just a bit too greedy on the inside curve there at Piratella for Crossland, and it's paid the price, unfortunately. And yeah, Taylor's up the inside and up into P18.
Fair play to Crossland, though. He held that well. Didn't put it in the wall. That's very easy to do there.
Oh, yes.
So I've heard.
No experience there.
Not at all.
Oh, Van Vliet's got a 5-second penalty, I'd assume, for that little incident earlier with Bub now.
I think we can safely assume that one.
Just to answer Tack Grant's message there in chat, yes, Split Red is after Split Blue tonight, so definitely stick around. And there'll be a commentary change, and looking forward to Split Red. Will we see more drama in Split Red? Because Split Blue tonight's been really nice and tidy.
Well, I'll try not to cause the drama, but I'll be around. Split Red to try and cause a little bit of mischief.
That's what we like to hear.
Meanwhile, we've got a battle here going on between Ben Deek and Clark, and Ben Deek has sped past the Porsche there.
That hurts.
Yeah, but he would have gotten the position anyway.
Oh, look at it.
Yet.
Well, having a look.
Clark's,
That Porsche
I am
does
not
have-
looking at. Gotta say, Clark's looking at that livery going, I am not watching that for the next 17 minutes.
Oh, this is very tight. So Clark's having a look up the inside tozer. He's gotten around there, and he's got the inside line going to Piratel. You'd assume he's got this now. The Porsche is so quick through the corners, and he's gotten it.
The Porsche,
Brilliant racing.
someone who drives a Porsche a lot, the Porsche through Piratella and Aqua Minerale is amazing, except when you do that.
Oh,
I think that caught Ben Deek down a little bit, because Ben Deek didn't quite have the best run through Aqua Minerale either. But it's brought him right back onto him. This is going to be a fight to the end, you'd expect.
Well, Bending's looking at the position 2 ahead, Sicanius, who currently has a 10-second penalty, but Bendig, if you add up those times, you know, it's getting close to not being able to get within 10 seconds, because there's nearly 9 seconds there already between. In fact, there is 9 seconds already between Bendig and Sicanius.
Oh, Ben Bleat has a drive-through penalty.
Massive.
That would
Huge.
likely be from track cuts, most likely.
Really unfortunate for the Lamborghini driver, having a good race in P6, but yeah, cut the track a few too many times, and unfortunately we've got to pay the price, especially with those white rims.
Yeah, so there was a very passionate discussion last night I heard about rim choice and rim colours. And just to answer Ultimate Local's question there, chicken salt, everything else doesn't matter. It is chicken salt on chips all day.
What is this thing called ketchup that you use? I only know of such thing as tomato sauce. Plus, don't even put tomato sauce on chips. Gravy.
Gravy. I was about to say exactly the same thing. Gravy all the way.
Gravy and cheese curds for our Canadian friends.
Oh, it's going to be a little bit of a dive, is it? It is not. The battle continues. Oh, a little bit in the sand. So that is an Aston right on the backside.
That's our lane.
Well, this is going to be very interesting heading into Tamburello now.
I think there's a bit of a crossover already. So, oh no, there isn't. Thought that the Aston might have already been alongside. They're not. So they're either going to go for the dive, which they didn't. Stick in behind, live to see another day.
The McLaren's actually quite nice around here. I didn't mind. I've done quite a few laps around Imola because I just love the place. But yeah, I didn't mind the McLaren around here. It's actually quite nice to drive. Yeah, Piper here currently in 5th position with Van Vliet behind her, who is got to serve a drive-through. So that'll free up Piper to just get on with the job.
Does have to keep an eye on Kai Ruden though, because Kai Ruden's close within 1.5 seconds, and this will not help the 255 car ahead. As Van Vliet does come in now.
Unfortunately, that drive-through is going to hurt. That is a heck of a run through the pit lane. So that's why you've got to stay within the track limits.
On board here with Kyrodin at the moment. Could just talk about this play. I just loved it. Again, I keep going on about it, but it's just such a beautiful flowing circuit. Everything just links together beautifully.
Yeah,
I know.
all
Oh, just Chad's question here. I never said it was quick, Chad. I was just saying I enjoyed driving it around here. I'm not a speed guy. I just like enjoying driving cars.
you're more of a Sunday drive guy.
Yeah, pretty much. It shows in my results.
Nah, we don't show any disrespect to our fellow Sunday drivers. I mean, going for a drive is one of the best things you can do when the fuel prices aren't ridiculous, as we see Matthew Lamb running away with this race at the moment, about 15 seconds ahead of fellow BMW driver JP Sneakers. And
Top Sunday drive.
yeah.
Bit of a masterclass this at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, 14 seconds ahead of his nearest rival, just enjoying the sights and sounds of Italy. Well, the sights of Italy, the sounds of the BMW engine.
So the vacuum cleaner.
Yes.
Well, you really don't like the M4, do you? I think we need to touch on this. Sorry, Sean. What do you got against the M4?
Okay, where do we start? First of all, look at it.
The interior looks fine.
Oh, the interior is fantastic. The exterior definitely.
Okay, he said something good about it. Alright, we've managed to get something good out of him.
But the front looks like an old. You know those Dodgers in America? I can't remember the name of those Dodgers in America, but that's what it
The
looks like.
Chargers or the Challengers?
Challenges, I think. Yep. And then the rear looks like a Lexus. So clearly BMW got some styling cues from both them, put them together, and said, "Oh, there we go. There's an M4. Great work. Well done." And it sounds terrible, and it's boring to drive. And the Fanatec steering wheel, wow, fantastic. $2,500 for a sim racing steering wheel? Come on. But there you go. End rant.
Hey, it's a good rant. I'm definitely not arguing with you. Just very interested to hear your biases.
Well, now we might as well move our conversation to the Honda, as Taylor has picked up a drive-through penalty as well. So we're starting to see some drive-throughs with 11 minutes to go now.
Yeah,
Track
everybody's
limit.
gonna be really wary of those track limits. They bite, and they bite hard, and they play a big factor in the outcome of a race like this.
Yeah, especially on the exit of Aqua Minerale and on the exit of Varia Alta. So easy to get a track cut there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can
Para
see
Taylor
Van Vliet-
is very easy to get a track
Yep.
cut.
Van Vliet's P14, so he was P5 at one point, and unfortunately did lose that as he's trying for a move on Villanueva. So he's going to go the long way around and try go around the outside here. Let's see if he can get it. He can get it done quite easily. Villanueva braked early, didn't try to outdo himself, and that was an easy move done there. Up into P13, and now he's chasing down Paz in the Nissan.
Big shout out to Paz as well. He's my Enduro Series teammate in the $1.50 rookies. Currently in 12th position, so well done, Alex. Great stuff.
Yeah, doing a fantastic job in P12 at the moment. So
We haven't spoken about him too much. So he's clearly been very clean.
yes, definitely. We've got another question from Ultimate Local. What type of corner are you?
Ooh. Amazing. I'm a fast downhill left-hander, 180 to 200 kilometers an hour through the apex.
I think you could probably compare me to the Baku Castle section. A bit so some people like it, some people hate it, and it's very technical.
Okay. Oh, that's a good one. I compare me to one of those just like ridiculously cambered corners, like at Zandvoort, turn 2 or turn 3 rather, or actually, or heck,
Avis?
the new, yeah. Just those. Why? I don't know. Just a very slanted person. No, you know what? I have no good justification. But that's what I'm going with.
With everything, you always have a bit of a lean.
It's good. I'm gonna take it and run with that.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Alright, we've seen a little battle here. So Kyron and Piper's battle might just resume. We know that they were about 4 seconds apart when after the pit stop stuff. So Kyron has found his way back to Piper. So this could very well be a good battle here for P5. Both of these guys pit at the same time, so they have no advantage over each other tires wise. So they're both pit about. Look at them sliding. That's what happens when you pit 15 minutes into an hour race, guys.
The Nissan really isn't that great on tires either, so I reckon Kyron's been good on the tires compared to Piper, and hopefully Piper can hold on for that P5. He deserves it in that Nissan after such a good race from him.
But have a look, they were right behind Reynolds before they pit, and now they're 15 seconds behind. That is definitely not just outright pace from Reynolds. I think they have really cut short their tyre life and meant they've had to stretch out this set a lot. I think they're losing quite a lot of time right now at the back end of this race to Reynolds. So ultimately that strategy has not paid off for them well.
Yeah, unfortunately the gamble that they took earlier on has not paid off, and now they're paying a massive price with Hignett only 3.3 seconds back now, so maybe he can join the fray in maybe tossing up for a top 5 at the end of this.
Well, this lap traffic's going to play a part in this, and if these two definitely start battling, Hignett's going to be right on these guys. I reckon with 6 minutes 40 to go, this is going to be quite tight.
Just who can hold on to these ridiculously old tires the best over the next roughly 8 minutes, up to 8 minutes of the race to go.
This is where I'm interested though. Watch this McLaren through here, carries so much more corner speed. And once the Nissan opens up that big motor, it just pulls away again.
So the Nissan is not an easy one to pass on the straights here. We've seen that you really got to get an excellent run and be set up well to benefit from that tow. But Kyron is definitely keeping up with him, so maybe it's more likely we'll see something through some of those slower corners. Oh, don't go too wide, Piper. Careful, keep out of the sand. He is. He's keeping it very clean for a car that can't be fun to drive right now.
Yeah, just trying his best. I mean, the straight line speed of the Nissan should help in this situation.
Now we'll just point out Reynolds has closed up on Clipano. I believe it was after the pit stops roughly 5 seconds. It's only 2.5 seconds now.
Oh, that's the car.
that is.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Piper did not want to get his foot off the throttle there. He knew if he did, that Kai Rudin was going to be all over him. Not that Kai Rudin isn't already, but Kai Rudin was going to absolutely take full advantage of anything he could get. There it is again, the replay. Little tag from behind.
Wow. That is a code brown.
Same Piper did actually have to get a bit off the throttle to make it around the third part of Tamburello, but
Yes, he did.
he's still ahead for now and is holding strong as Kyron uses all of the track.
3/10. I wonder if either of them. What we don't know is whether either of them have track limit warnings already. Perhaps one does and one doesn't. If Kai Rudin had some up his sleeves, you know, now is the time to get a little reckless.
Yeah, if you've got any leftover track limits warnings, use them up very, very wisely now.
That's always my strategy. You know what? Save them, and then in the last 5 minutes, just go right. Paul Ricard mode.
Yeah, pretty much. Of course, we don't promote this stuff, but I mean,
Very wide from Piper. Sorry, Alex.
it's all good. It's all good.
Getting a bit squiggly there. I think he might have even dipped a little bit in the sand.
Yeah, it did look like there was a bit of a sand pickup on the outside of those. Hignett's come into the pits. Has he?
Ooh,
Underfueled.
He has.
Oh,
Oh, massive.
no.
Oh, no, hang on.
He hasn't made it.
He's out.
He didn't get in there. Unfortunately, that's going to be it for his race. He was doing such a great job as well, and unfortunately, that is a Bentley out of fuel and done for the day. Back to our race for P5, so it's still heating up here. There's still a couple of laps left to go. Judging from the last time that they crossed that control line, this is the third last lap. So there will be 2 more coming after this one.
Here we go. This is where the McLaren again. Through here, look, it just closes right up to the back of the Nissan. I feel like he's got to get such a good run through Piratella and Aquaminarale to really set up for maybe a braking move in the Variata Alta. I feel like that's his only real shot in the McLaren.
Oh,
Ooh,
little
it's
guy's
really there. Ooh.
Yeah, getting really uneasy there. He's really trying to match the Nissan through there, which just isn't going to happen. So he's getting close, but he's getting close coming up to the wrong part of the circuit. Getting close coming up to Variante Alta is fantastic, but he just can't make a move there, and he can't get enough benefit from there to be close enough coming out of the final corner.
Yeah, it's just a catch-22 there for Kyrun, who has to hold behind for now, but I'm sure he'll be doing everything in his power to try and force a mistake out of Piper as we come to the front to Lamb. Look at his gap to Sneakers. He has been flying this race.
Yeah, penultimate lap time is where we're at right now. So it looks like, oh, there is only 1 second by the looks of it between Clopano and Sonicus. Is that correct?
Yes, 1 second.
Yes, that's
1
right.
second. That is the closest they have been for a little while now. So there's potentially something to look for there. And Kai Runen obviously still only half a second behind as well.
Also further back, we've got a close battle here as we jump right onto it. Thank you, race director, between Rowe and Niferus. 0.5 of a second between these two.
Got black traffic just getting out of the way there. Fantastic stuff. So these two can absolutely go at it now. Niferus and the GTR chasing Rowe in the Rowe BMW.
Rowe just dipped a little toe into the grass there. Didn't help his turn in to Tamburello. So that's...
Oh, he's got a bit of the curb there. That's going to
Yeah,
invite
very
Niferus up the
Going
inside.
for it.
It's
He's
going to
gonna
go for it. Absolutely, you would have to. But no, the piece. Rowe has just chucked it in there even harder. Comes out clean on the other side.
That is very smart racing there from Rowe. Just pinning him as close to the inside as he can to try and force Niferus to pull out of it. And he's done just that. Very smart racing there.
Coming across the control line, I think Kyrudin's just a little bit too far back from Piper again. So Piper has managed to pull it out. It looks like there might have even been a little bit of trouble for Kyrudin there. We are on the final lap. Lamb has been doing a great job. This is just a lap of honor for him. He absolutely smoked the competition in qualifying. Smoked them again in the race. He's got a couple turns left. It looks like the battle is done as well between Kyrudin and Piper. I don't think they're going to have much. I don't think Kyrudin's going to have much more he can swing at Piper for the rest of the race. So I think Piper might just hold on to P5. But all the props need to go to this man. Car number 15, Matthew Lamb. Hasn't put a foot wrong. It's going to get a little bit of a toe over the line. But that is race winner in Italy at Imola for Matthew Lamb. He wins Split Blue round 3 for Octane Online Racing. A fantastic race from him. 15 seconds down the line, Sonicus, who had some great battles for us to watch, comes home in P2. Great race from him. Only a second behind that, Clopano, who did a fantastic race, kept himself out of trouble, put the pressure on Sonicus. Reynolds caught back up as well, really put himself back in the game after some of those early mishaps, which put him back a couple positions. And then the battle between Piper and Kyrudin, really exciting to watch at the end there. Piper comes across the line in P5, Kyrudin just behind him in P6. We see the end of that battle between Rowe and Niferus. I think Rowe has just managed to hold on again. So here comes the BMW and the Nissan. Nissan getting themselves into some great battles for us to watch today. And that is the top 8 for the race. Herbert and Phillips will come home to round out the top 10.
And some positive for Van Vleet, he will not lose any position post-race from his penalty, as he is more than 5 seconds ahead of Paz.
It is the race for Van Vliet. What could have been, though, isn't it?
Yes, after that drive-through, he showed he had a lot of pace there, so yeah, it was just a matter of, if only he hadn't just done that one too many track limits cuts, but they're all things that you can see in hindsight, and yeah, it's just got to look back on that and yeah, move on, I guess.
Great race. So I really enjoyed that. That was really nice. Good battles. Lamb, though, what a masterclass that was. Wowee. That was stunning.
Extraordinarily clean as well. Never seen such a solid, clean first lap of Imola, especially with this many cars. When you're racing with 40 cars, that's just almost unheard of. So huge props to the OOR team and their fantastic training and rookie series, and all of the drivers who really respect that and really respect the racing here. So huge props to Split Blue. They've done a fantastic job. We will get a look at the results shortly, and then I will be jumping across to my own to Split Red myself, and you guys are just going to go and enjoy a good night. There we are. There's the results. Lamb from Sonicus and Clapano, those are our podium winners for today. Reynolds has just fallen shy with Piper and Karuden just in behind that. So those are the overall winners.
Was that a clean sweep for Lamb as well? He got pole. Did he get fastest lap?
Yes, he did get fastest lap.
Clean sweep.
And
Wow.
he was the leader of the championship and will be again.
Was he fastest
moving
in
forward.
free practice though?
We'll see.
He was,
Yeah,
so
he
it
was.
was
He
a
was.
full clean sweep.
There we go. It's 0.6 of a second ahead. He has absolutely floored this round. So a whole lot of penalties there at the back of the field, given at the end of the race. So those were all post pit stop.
Great race.
penalties that were given.
Fantastic race, and
Great call,
5-star
guys.
NCAP safety rating for that one.
Thanks, Mel.
All the best
All
tonight
right.
in your race. Thanks for joining us, Samwise, Alex, and Sean.
Thank you.
Mel.
Have a good one.
We'll take a quick 5-minute break, and we'll be back for split number red. Split number red.
Split
Goodbye.
number red.
Split number red.
See yous.
Catch you.
Alrighty, we are back. Good evening, Alex. How are you, sir? Absolutely raring to go here for what could be a disaster, seeing how well Split Blue went tonight. G'day, JP. How are you, sir? Oh, it was fantastic. Lots of close battles. David Bartlett's... There you go, exit stage right. Yeah, it was a great race. Lots going on. Great to see you got a P2, mate. Yeah, that is always a good thing. It does. No safety car. The classes haven't done their thing again, which is absolutely shitting me to tears. So I'll be spending this weekend making sure that's sorted for round 4. But we have one race to go here in Asia Pacific. Then with North America, we'll be back in about 12 hours' time for the... Well, my headset cut out then. Oh, geez, that gap's close at the top. 41 flat. Is that ridiculous or what? What do we get for pole in Split Blue? That would help if I unmuted the sound so I can talk to you, but no one else can hear you. Oh, I'm glad you said all those important things. The stream will never know.
Yeah,
Stream
so
will never know.
that is the secret code to winning the game. So fortunately, nobody will ever know. But
And you've now got all my bank account details and
Yeah.
pins and everything.
There we go. And now the stream thinks that I'm talking to myself. I've lost my marbles. Ah, well. As we'll
I reckon
say...
we'll see Giacomin, Nabil Burs, probably Ralahay and Sonicus most likely very close to the 40s. Most of them in the 40s, but I think the rest of them will be very close to the 40s.
So, Giacomin will be serving a qualification ban this round
Yep.
for
Yes,
license
so-
points.
He will not be doing a 40 in qualifying.
No. Maybe he'll count to that as we kick over to quali. Another good grid tonight. Wish you didn't do that. Well, Sneakers, I haven't broadcasted you guys, especially John, this season, and he's out of the Lexus, and he's been able to create something, and it's an absolute clusterfuck.
I recall mentioning to you last night that JLS went to the school of John Sonicus car design. So there you go. There's the masterpiece at work.
Yeah.
It's an acquired taste, that's for sure.
Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, as they say. He must be surrounded by Stevie Wonders because that is not great. But good luck to him. Hopefully gets another podium. Maybe even a win. As the LA Lakers, I thought you couldn't get any worse. Then we got a Lakers fan, Michael Velasquez.
That livery though, look, I mean the colours work well together. You don't have to like the team, but the colours work well.
They
So
do.
it's not too bad.
So he's leading the way. What other teams we have kicking about? Ride Pring, good car.
Oh, I mean,
West
fair enough.
Coast Spooners. I'm surprised that's got all its bits and pieces on it. Missing a door and a wheel and a window.
Not sure who the Spooners are, what the code they compete in, or what is that?
It's the West Coast Eagles, but because they're absolutely
Wooden
horrendous,
Spooners.
they're absolutely horrendous this year. They're likely to win the Wooden Spoon. Milk Racing Team, nice one, Jacob. All the gear, no idea.
I mean, Milk Racing Team, it still needs to have something after it.
It does. Oh, that is a bit of chrome on that. Geocomin Sim Coaching.
Doesn't say that the
Oh,
chrome does not
jeez.
say that.
As I think he needs to continue the coaching because you can't overtake in qualifying there, David Barker. I'm pretty sure you just got 2. So stewards will be quick onto that.
Oh,
Come on.
there's a little boot. That's not what you want to see.
All this space, and always they choose to back up into the final few corners.
So COYB means come on you
Blues?
Blues? What? Hang on. Wouldn't it be come on you Toffees? He's an Everton fan. That is the-
Aren't they the Blues? As Liverpool are the Reds, I guess. I don't know.
They're the Blues, but I would refer them to as the Toffees. Otherwise, I'm thinking of Chelsea. Either way, they're relegated. Once Arsenal beat them. Rate my ride. All right, we'll do that. Because you've asked so nicely there, Stephen Tyre. I'll give that a firm 9. I like that.
Out of his old green one had a red trim, which took it to the next level. This one it's nice, but it's not as nice as some of his previous liveries, I don't think. I'll give it a 7.4 out of 9.6.
What about you, Alex?
I'll probably give it an 8. It's not bad at all.
There you go. We've rated your ride, Stephen Tyre. Peterson, no team name. Samwise Holmes straight out of the commentary box and has chucked on an actual in-game livery, which absolutely shits me to tears. I'm going to rate that at 3 out of 20. Mo Salah, Liverpool.
That's the away shirt, yes?
Yep.
That's not too bad.
I knew he was going to do the Liverpool yellow. Black Labs. The Kovacs Racing Titans. Is that Gold Coast Titans?
Yep, I think so.
No one's perfect. Is it lucky to not beat? I don't know much
It's a nice,
about
nice livery.
Oh, it is. It is a great livery. I don't know much about NRL though. Denver Nuggets #1 next season. You're bloody dreaming there, Brock.
I mean, they might suck, but that is a very nice livery. Those colours work very well on that car.
You're going to need a second superstar. I don't think Jamal Murray is it. Fire Team Racing. Odyssey Academy. Lost Colours. Tashmobile. Richmond. Oh, JLS. Wow, JLS, you've actually done something good, mate.
And well, I think you need to, if you rate his ride, you need to rate it in comparison to last night's livery.
Oh, this is a 300 then.
Jason is actually well.
Yeah. Well, don't finish 9th tonight there, JLS. I don't think that joke works anymore for Richmond now that they've won premierships.
Cheesy garlic, that does sound very tasty.
I've always enjoyed the Born Tire Tribe liveries. Cameron Ross, great team name there. How to make setup. I'm pretty sure you got that nailed down pat there, Lucas. Rochford, very bright. Team Techno, Mohammed Irfan also races in our F1 series and he's a very fast man. Shady, another fast man. Adam Lilly, #1 seed. And there we go, back to Velasquez and this abomination. So, what times are we getting so far? Looks like Daffa is P1 at the moment with a 41.6. But we haven't seen the other fast men. You said it's
The
on.
track is only on fast, so I think
Ooh.
seeing low 41s, unless the track evolves in the next lap or two, I think low 41s will be what we're aiming for.
Yep. So no Sneakers, no Burrs. We were not. Who's the one that's got a qualifying ban?
Giacomo.
Giacomo.
No Giacomo.
As well as Stockton 121, so they're both serving their quali bans for this round.
Yeah. So Mazzato was quite interesting last round. It was, I'll say interesting. I'm sure a few other drivers will use
Certainly a
different
word for it.
terminology. But tonight,
Yeah,
great to
I
see.
mean, I can use some other words in conjunction with interesting.
You could probably use it in Africans. Maybe not enough people will understand. I'm not sure if I get in trouble for that, but I'll okay it.
It's okay. I don't want to get you banned in Africa.
I just want to learn some African bad words. So, yeah. Daffa is currently P11 in the championship. 67 points. He's only done one race.
Yeah, I was just about to say he hasn't missed a couple of rounds, so
There's
5,000.
thousands off.
That is tight. Shady Samuel currently P3 in the championship. Lucas Burrs and John Sanikas lead the way. With Shady
John.
and Richard McIntosh P4.
As John just goes P1.
That's our boxing. It's going to be interesting if he has enough time to get around for another lap.
Daffer must have improved. There's McIntosh. In the Bentley. Very un-West Coast-ish fourth position here.
Tag Grant, the quali ban is 4 penalty points on the license, Alex, if I'm not mistaken? Or-
Yes, as you get involved in incidents, you acquire points against your license. Once you hit 8 points, you receive a qualifying ban for the next round you participate in.
There's some
It was
inspiration.
But we've
Sorry, what was
changed-
that now?
It was 10 points you could get, but because you don't have the finals anymore, we've dropped it down to 8. 8 points if you rack up, you get a quali ban. 16 points is a race ban.
Stephen Ty popping it into P4 there.
Nice work.
The Audi is surprisingly strong here. I didn't realize it would be that strong. It's so good for this middle sector. So he'll be in with a shout to challenge the Beamers for sure.
What have we got here? Shady.
There goes
Bang.
Paul.
Very tight at the top. Second separates the top 11.
John has called it off. He's into the box. Samuel still has a lap to go. Nabil still on lap. Burrs. Still many people who can upset this top 10 here. It's a bit of a boring livery, but it looks quite nice. I mean, the colours work well together.
Yeah, it's sometimes hard to get grey to really be interesting. But it does work nicely as like an alternative colour.
Yeah. John just sent me a message that he didn't have enough fuel for another lap, so good planning.
Bold strat.
What is good to see, the top 15 separated by pretty much just a second.
Shady is having a red hot dip here.
Crack has gone optimum as well, so
Johnson timed this badly.
yep.
Double yellows. You know what happens when the double yellows? Put your foot back down. Well, I reckon we're going to see a few double yellows tonight.
I'm sure they'll keep it clean.
It might surprise us. Shady looks like, is he going to improve a little bit of a squirrely exit out of the last corner? He's going to improve, but not by much.
So the question is, what type of lap is Nabil on? He's improving. Loads of time to gain. Upcoming Raleigh and the chicanes are 2 spots where things are very easily gained or lost, as we
There
see
it
there.
is.
Things.
Look at those BMWs.
might be an-
That's
Bit
that
loose.
goes 2 tenths.
Yeah, he managed to keep it valid, but he lost everything he gained in Upcoming Raleigh there, so...
Raleigh's managed to throw a Porsche up into the mix of these BMWs. A certain meme comes to mind looking at that.
Is there a sofa involved? Or as he goes, he's at 10.5. He'll put it into P2. It won't be enough for P1, but yep. Go.
Samurai should move up a few.
P7.
P7.
So,
17th. What's we got? Well, there we go. Straight over. Cloudy, but looks like a dry race we are set for. So, Shady Samuel on the front row with Daffer, with Sneakers and Raleigh on the second row. Look at all those BMWs.
I do feel sorry for Ralahay the first time they come around the final corner and he has to defend down the straight.
Yep.
Especially with our Honda behind him in Burrs. That should be fun for him.
It'll be big pressure on Giacomin here to fight his way through the field, but cleanly. And it's quite easy to be impatient. So, where are we going to predict that he finishes? In the top 10? I'm
I
going
would
to
say
say 7th,
12th.
12th. What do you reckon, Alex?
Oh, I completely missed that. I was just confirming something for JC.
I was just telling what's your bank details are going to send you some money. But anyway, where do you reckon Giacomin's going to finish?
It will depend on if he can.
No,
keep
no,
his
depends.
nose-
Just pick a number.
I think he should be able to get into the top 15 if he has a good race.
So you're saying 15th?
We'll go with that, yeah.
Right, I've gone 7th. I maybe have gone too much. Sean Muller is not a huge fan of the BMW, but I'd expect that from someone that loves Porsche.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the BMW, but it's a good car. But it's fairly boring to drive. It's really not super exciting, but it's good everywhere and it's very strong here. So yeah, I mean, you'll see the fast guys in the Beamers perform well here, just because of the way the car suits this track as well.
Yeah, it loves it. Chad's saying in chat, regarding your comments last night, white rims on a VK Brock Blue Commodore looks sensational. Yeah, but how many VK Brock Blue Commodores are there? And it's fascinating because it used to be a race car, and these bots can really go and die.
White rims look good on an Alpha Tauri.
Yes, but that's an F1 car. You get away with it. Bloody McLaren have Google rims.
Yeah, they do.
And that actually works. What's with the bots tonight? Oh, maybe they're just a bit lonely.
Maybe you should click and find out.
Someone needs to get some towers. Apparently they're... no, you can't see it anymore, so if you watch this VOD back, you're going to wonder why I'm asking about towers. So, anyway... What safety car do we have now? We have the Jaguar again. Driven by, I believe it's Matty
No,
Powell.
that's the Porsche Cup.
No, it is the Porsche Cup. It has worked.
Yep, that's Matt Powell behind the wheel.
And I hope he spins it.
He is convinced he will be spinning it on the formation lap, but so far he's so good.
Well, he hasn't turned.
He hasn't
Okay, now he's
turned
turned.
yet.
He was pretty much
Alex
expecting
setting
to
the
spin it
bar
off the line.
extremely low here.
The BMW is just good here because it's it's not a high speed track necessarily, and it's very good in medium speed and slow corners. So it does very well here.
If you're able to go to Italy, what dish are you thinking of trying out? I'm probably going to try like a meat pie, tomato sauce.
Yeah, definitely a filet of fish.
Filet of fish, some
A
chocolate.
filet of fish, a filet of fish.
A pad thai, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Thai green curry.
Fried rice.
If I was to try an Italian dish, it would probably be their own made ravioli, but
So ravioli or like a proper homemade lasagna, but not a pizza.
yeah, but not a pizza.
Everybody I've spoken to that's been to Italy and had a pizza has been disappointed with how Italian pizza tastes. So
Oh, really?
I think it's just because the pizzas we're used to is made like for Australian or Western palates, you know. So it's just
Yeah, true. There's a few things they don't put on their pizza. I'm fairly sure pineapple's one of them over there.
I would guess so.
I don't think they do, but I could be wrong. I've never been to Italy. If you're from Italy and you're watching this stream, please confirm. Do you put pineapple on pizza? Generally speaking, that's the worst Italian accent.
I resent that. That is a fantastic Italian accent.
Thought he nailed it. G'day, Mac Daddy. Great work tonight, mate. Good to see you put the hards on and went all the way to the finish and didn't cause a safety car. No, I'm joking. All right. I'll call the race start. I've been waiting for about 6 weeks for this one. Gourmet.
Let's see if you get to say the
satay
thing.
chicken. Yeah. Nah, I've got full faith that this will be fantastic. Safety car's pulled away. It's actually quite a delayed start here, so I'm not going to get too excited too early, as I don't know why they've done that. That's going to fuck the whole field up. Please, for the love of the sim racing gods. That's a big gap there from that Lambo. Told you that would happen. And the Bentley's right up the back bum of the Audi. Stop. Why are they doing? It's not go yet. What are you doing? Oh my lord. Daffer and Shady Samuel
That
have said,
is
fuck your 12
something.
metres. I'm going to take off in 2 metres. And that's going to be some penalties there. But heading down to turn 1, ignore the gap at the front because they've absolutely butchered that start. So far, so good. I don't know what they were thinking. What were they thinking? There's a
I
massive
think they
incident in the
were.
back.
Well, that's
Yellow cars
certainly.
everywhere. If I was race director right now, I would call a safety car and I would bunch them up and I would give a penalty straight out to those leaders.
I'm not quite sure. It's not the first race of the season, and I mean, there's a green flag that pops up. Why they went on a red flag? I'm not sure what the logic was.
Yeah, I'm sure the Shields will have a very good look at that, and I would not be at all surprised to see some penalties incoming very soon.
Look, I've seen it happen once at Kyalami. One car just took off and just disappeared into the distance, but I haven't seen
remember.
3 do it. Oh, that's the first. So the whole 12 metres thing was just ruined by that. Maybe a good thing, but you can see the single file that all these cars are in right now. A few yellow flags.
Really wish I was in the Kovacs team speak for that, because the reaction would have been something to hear. That's for sure.
Yeah, it would have been entertaining.
I don't want to watch it back. Oh, that's wide. That's JLS, I think. It is.
He's a lot harder to spot now that his
Yeah.
car looks like a normal car.
It's too bright. So it was definitely Shady and Daffer who took off. Based on how close Raleigh is, I'm fairly sure he did the same thing.
Yeah. I think Barker went before the green as well, but not to the same extent.
It has a countdown. It even tells you when it's green. It even has a voice thing. Well, there's a few drivers. It's going to really shake up this field, though. They're going to have a big stint here because you can expect a penalty.
I'd honestly be very surprised if that's not at least a drive-through penalty, in which case that big stint flies out the window.
Yeah, because normally a jump start would be like a marginal just over the speed, but because they jumped so early, they gained so much time from that, it won't be a stock standard jump start pen. So watch this space. Jacob Weatherburn, fresh from his little BMW run last night, P15. 450 is in the pit, so he was involved in the incident. I think that's Matthew Harrod. Called his name a few times last night too.
Yeah, he was the one who was facing the wrong way at the exit of turn 2 there, so assuming he got involved in some shenanigans. I have to say, Imola is, if not my favorite track, at least top 2, especially in ACC. But it is so frustrating to overtake here.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how this top 5 plays out. Samwise tries to prove that very wrong with a bit of a send there. Hits the curb, avoids tie just about, and regular service is resumed.
That was very spicy. I thought he was about to get into that back rear panel, but not to be.
I'd
Why?
have confirmation that penalties will be coming in for the leaders that jumped the start there.
Game usually gives a drive-through, but
Yeah.
that's only on widget starts. So when there isn't a widget, then it's up to the stewards to provide that in a live fashion.
I'm surprised the game doesn't give out a penalty for the non-widget because it's still got a green and it's still got speed you got to hold. I'm amazed that it doesn't, but it'd save us a bit of a job.
It's a feature.
It's a feature.
Giacomo up to B23 already, so
He's
That's,
not wasting any time at all.
good progress.
Oh, the curb there. Brock Godfrey's Honda.
I'm not sure how good the Honda is here now. This would have been a bit of a bogey track before the Honda got updated, but the new old Honda is fantastic over curves now, so it might be fairly good here. I mean, Burrs is not a realistic representation of it because he can go fast on a wheelbarrow, but it's
That's very true. So we're just 5 minutes in. Luke has come from second last. He's up to 22nd. A big opportunity to gain on those front runners that jump started. Probably have to do it after the pit stop. Oh, this is always a dubious place you want to be. Switchback, get around the outside here at the hairpin. Is it Tosa?
so but yep.
Oh, out he goes very deep. And that's the way you want to be if you want to get a move up here on the inside. So up to 21st.
It is drive-throughs for cars 6, 130 and 4 for that jump start.
Yeah, I was expecting
And
that.
29 as well.
Top 4, there they go.
Well, they're going to do it together. And they're going to be a drama in the pit lane. So
John
Luke-
here putting some pressure on Burrs.
These two are provisional leaders pretty much now. Burrs and Sneakers. Samwas Holmes, P3. So we watch carefully the leaders. Are they going to pit now? No, they're not. They're probably there going, oh, why did I get a penalty? Well, you just have to watch back this race. Oh, the BMW would surely eat that Honda on a straight.
No, I'm surprised at how strong he is here, but the BMW is not particularly fast on the straight. As it goes, tries to go around the outside, makes it stick. Good move. That is potentially for the lead, I would say.
Very much so. I always get spooked by that inside. Oh, was it the outside or the inside apex? On that chicane, if you come back across the track.
It's so tricky because either side, the inside on the left hander and the right hander, that inside apex just bounces you ever so slightly.
Yep. I remember the F1
It's-
race here that we saw Hamilton and
Verstappen.
I can't believe that more drama didn't ensue on that.
Yeah, I don't know what that Mercedes was built
Oh.
from, but it was probably Nokia 3310s or something, because then how you go over there and don't die.
How good is that phone, just quietly? Indestructible. They should make planes out of a Nokia 3210.
I think the black box is made out of a 3310.
They've replaced the black box just with a 32. It'd be save space. It'd save the net.
Just put a memory card in there.
I'd hate to see what happens when one just hits the ground unprotected from that height. What sort of damage is it going to do to the planet?
It would create quite the crater, that's for sure.
They've stayed out.
Rolla is in, so they will have to come in end of the next lap, I would guess. Go Barker jumps in.
Now the question is, how many disqualifications for speeding in the pits are we going to see this?
Well, we haven't
this
seen any
split.
for blue, so I have high faith.
There were 2 in blue.
There were 2 that were
Oh, were there?
cancelled.
I didn't see that, sorry.
Yeah, they were doing about 130 k's an hour at the line, and the game said, no thank you.
Well, let's say...
So how? This is literally one of the easiest pit entries of all the tracks. It's literally a straight line. I don't get how people do that.
Let's just watch this sadness. So Raleigh is down in 24th, 25th position.
Yeah,
So
that's
on
gonna
the
be-
track map, I am seeing a black dot for car 6,
Is that
which is
DQ?
normally a DQ.
Yep. Car 6 was Samuel, I think, wasn't it?
Shady Samuel. Oh no.
Stephen Ty in the pits as well. I'm not sure what happened there. Why he's... I
So,
think he's in for an
so
early
serving
stop.
his drive-through, he's gone way over. Is that deleted his
That
whole
would
lap?
appear so.
Just take it easier in the pit lane. As you were saying, it's one of the easier pit entries.
I think that's probably part of the reason why it happens is you know you can absolutely belt it in and just on the brakes as late as possible. But some may overestimate what is possible.
Yep.
Chalmers' drive-through looks like he's an anti-war activist as well. Or not an activist, a stand by Ukraine in terms of the color. It's quite interesting.
That's very true. Let's just go a bit further down the order here. So a lot of positions gained here from these drive-throughs from the leaders. If you missed it earlier, we saw the top 4 all jump the start, and I'm not talking by a split second. I'm talking by several seconds. They're already out of Italy by the time the greens went.
So Giacomin, who started second last, is currently P30
Wow.
after 10 minutes of the race. So that's
Well, my
really
prediction's
solid
gone.
effort. Yeah, I don't think mine will be particularly realistic. Here we go, P12 now.
I'll take
after
the
Nabil
win.
is
I'll
in
take the
front.
win already. Closest to the pin. So Daffa looks like 22nd is the highest position from those DTs.
Yep, and Samuel obviously added a little bit of extra drama to his race. Well, that's not where you want to put the wheel. Yoda goes wide. Well done by Hayes there to keep it on the inside.
Oh,
This is not a place you want to go side by side. Weatherburn smartly pulls out of it. So yeah, Samwise, through all of this drama, has moved up into P3.
well, I can definitely say that's the first that I've seen.
A little bit of backing up there.
So, question from Nathan. What's the weirdest thing you've seen in a race during commentating, aside from recent obvious events?
Well, I mean, for me,
weirdest
considering
or-
this is night 2 for me, it's definitely that. That's all there is.
I've seen
I would have to say, in ACC, it's some of the disconnects that you see. Like just how some of the cars act when they're disconnecting.
Yep.
Ryan Dwong's Bentley at Bathurst flying 200 meters up in the air doing 360s is probably the best one I've seen.
That was a pretty good one.
Yeah, I think that's up there in mine as well. I've seen some weird stuff at Bathurst and Spa. I've seen a Bentley go across the entire Spa circuit in the wet and smash cones and stuff. In sim racing, though, if you're talking about all over sim racing, it'd have to be something in the F1 game. That thing, over the years, it never ceases to amaze me. I've seen invisible walls kill cars whilst they're in the middle of the circuit.
Sounds like in GT Sport, if you hit a cone or something like that, the bollards just bounce your car into the air. So that's always fun.
That's always fun. But yeah, I'd say the weirdest thing I've seen, other than ACC, was a qualifying session at Bahrain in the F1 game. I can't remember what version it was. Someone went into the pits, but the game put their car on the start-finish line, right on the racing line, and I watched another car slam into it, which was his teammate, and just obliterate them. Not the car that was on the start-finish, but the car that hit him. There'd be a clip somewhere on our Twitch. That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I do laugh looking back at those things.
Some breaking news. Shady Samuel, the disqualification was not for speeding in the pits. but for failing to serve his drive through.
Oh, why didn't he go in? Well, a hard lesson to be learnt there,
I mean,
and that's one that doesn't get undone.
yeah, I'm not sure what the logic behind that was. Would you be trying to protest it, which you're not allowed to do in the race? So just serve the penalty, and then after the race try and fight about it. But yeah, it's a bit weird. Missing wheels in GT Sport races is quite a common thing as well.
If you ever watch the race start, if you want to see something really, really strange, I might go on board with Sneakers on cars. So you might be able to see the start finish. So look, he's taken off a little bit there. You should be holding 80. You've been told to hold 80 well before this part of the circuit, and they are again. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, see you later, sayonara, I am checking out. You're gone.
So that's red flags.
See the
red
reds on the
lights,
left? Gone.
Red lights, still red lights. Now it's green. Yeah, I don't know. There's no way of protesting that from any of their perspectives, unfortunately.
And although John was technically speeding there at
That's
about
a hard one,
85,
yeah.
that's, considering what was going on around him, that would be the reason why he hasn't been pinged. He's just done the right thing and held it, probably quite confused until the green flag, and then
When you're
gotten on with the
so
job.
on edge, ready to start the race, you're ready for those green lights, you're watching cars around you, ready to jump, it's instinctual kind of to follow that car. And to not do it, like if you're in the F1 game and someone takes off a bit early, I've seen so many people jump start straight afterwards. Because it's a standing start and you've got no choice there. Well, here, at least you got the throttle modulation. But yeah, that was a very unique penalty. Oh, and there's a bit of drama down at the back. Looks like
Added,
JLS.
that's just the added difficulty with the non-widget starts is you don't have that's not no free
Yep,
into one does not go.
that's-
That doesn't work.
they'll do it.
Side by side through there can be tricky enough sometimes. Trying to make it 3 wide's never going to work.
I can imagine JLS won't be best pleased about that. Chad asking what the new Audi is like to drive. Good. I think
What was
from
that?
what I've seen, how the new Audi is like to drive.
Oh, it's a little bit safer, apparently.
It's a lot less thingy, but just a little bit slower in the straights.
That doesn't sound like our server. That sounds like you've had a disconnect or something on your end. The server's nothing wrong on our end. Desync is a thing. It could be a kudos feature. Another car might have had a desync. But yeah, you can't just jump on stream and say our server's fucked up, because that's not how it works. But
Sonica seems to have finally broken free from Burrs a little bit. Burrs was all over his rear tail, say.
maybe Sonicus had some hacks and he managed to put the throttle down for 4 cars. It's a great strategy.
I mean, no, definitely not the case. We don't do that.
Jack Coleman though, P8, he's already one position off what I predicted was, and it's 41 minutes to go. Absolutely flying.
There's every chance he can still score a podium here,
Oh, I
which
reckon it's a big
would be
chance.
astonishing.
Well, if you look a bit further back, you've got Daffa is 16th. The other ones that had the drive-throughs, I can't see them in the top 23.
Raleigh
Hey.
in P20.
Oh, sorry, Raleigh, yep, 20.
He will struggle to get through the field just based on the Porsche straight line. Oh, that's a little bit of a boop there. Both, who was that, Jacoman, Bring and Jacoman, both went a little deep into Gravazza there.
Nice little pack here.
Will
Oh,
we see another 3 wide?
shit, can't watch.
That's okay. It's only too wide.
And they made it work. Great work, gents. Yeah, I've seen some crazy desync and disconnects in this game in the past where cars turn into submarines or ballistic missiles.
We had one in the rookies this week where the car was just jumping all over the place. I think there was a fair amount of packet loss in there. And from our end, it looks like they're just jumping 200 meters ahead and then straight back into other cars. So, yeah, if that sort of thing is happening, it's generally on your own end.
Yep.
You know, Nathan always asks questions for the commentators. I always ask this when we race here, but for me personally, Upper Minerale is probably my favorite set of corners on a single racetrack. Or chatting for you guys, what is your favorite? Not one corner, but like a set of, like a little segment of a track or something.
That is a very good question.
I'll get back to you on that one. I've always enjoyed the Hungaro ring at the top of the hill. Sector 2, 3. That
And
little
5,
section.
6 or...
Yeah, from sort of the chicane onwards.
Ah, okay. And the two sort of long chicane kind of things.
Yeah. I
That's
wouldn't say it's my
fantastic.
favourite though, as that is one of our leaders.
Oh,
Oh,
that
that's
was not fantastic.
Oh, haven't gone back far enough.
So who is that in the Aston? I'm assuming that's Cook and Ricciuti who got involved with each other.
Oh, this is just getting worse.
So he glanced it and just
Oh,
into convoy, unfortunately. Jamie has just had some of the worst luck so far this season as well.
yeah, he has been probably one of the the unluckiest drivers out there, I think.
Oh, okay, that was interesting.
Oh, that's an interesting line, guys. A good avoidance though. It's
We need some Benny Hill music playing.
oh, it's if you're going to come back on track, you can't lose your car. And I reckon Stefano is absolutely kicking himself there. This race has had a bit of everything. I wouldn't say all good things. Livery of the evening. Oh, I'm going to have to say Jeremy Talbot. Does that still count?
I didn't see his. Is that from last night? Or
Yeah, I was talking about last night.
Okay.
I'm not sure. 7:44 is around. That is Gowers.
He was
Oh,
yellow flag
jeez.
previous lap as well.
Yep, he's going to cross that wall.
Oh, that's all. Yep. Ding. I love it. I love how there's a delay in the damage.
If only that was the Arsenal livery. That would have just shown what happened at the end of the season. I did say Red Hold said hold my beer. But it's... yeah, just strange. Anyway,
Raleigh
John,
having a 15-second penalty as well. Not sure what that was for.
I think he was the one that went deep, didn't he? Hit the Lexus.
Possibly I didn't see that.
I reckon there'll be a few more pins after that. Rain in 30 minutes. Great shout there.
Which car were you asking about with the penalty?
And Raleigh. Car number 4.
That was for a collision with car 94
BMW,
back
yeah,
on
so
lap
that,
9.
yeah, that would have been the deep under brakes. So, if we want a little bit more spice, we're going to get it. The last 6 minutes of this race is going to be with a little bit of moisture. These two are having a great battle, Audi versus BMW. Do you like the Audi Sean Muller? That is close to the fence. I think you're...
Ooh.
Wow.
I think that may have been a little bit of rubber banding, maybe.
Samwise is not afraid to defend.
Oh no, no, no.
Yes.
He's quite fond of it actually.
He's quite fond, and he's...
And him and Cole have had some epic battles before as well, so this is just another one.
Now, the last 6 minutes, obviously when it rains in the game now, you got to change those tyres fairly quickly, but can you last 6 minutes?
Yeah. If it's light rain, absolutely.
The problem being that it's anywhere between 10 and 30 minutes. So,
Oh, I think we've only just noticed it.
I mean, we've had it. I can't remember. I think it might have been for the Enduro actually on Saturday, where it said in 10 minutes there'd be rain, and 2 minutes later it was actually raining.
Yeah, that's because it doesn't
So-
have like a minute-by-minute counter. So if you haven't noticed the 10-minute mark, it changes. So, for example, if we hadn't noticed that 30 minutes thing there, and in 10 minutes' time we noticed it, we wouldn't actually have a fair picture. But because we'll picked it up pretty soon, it will rain in 30. If that makes sense. The same with the 10-minute one. It's just, I just have never been a real huge fan of how the weather system is shown in this game.
Oh,
Here we go
Cole
again.
is just all over him. It's a good run out of there. Neither of these are the best in the straight line, but I think the BMW should have the legs on him.
I think Samwise is
Oh,
in a bit of trouble here.
Oh, I mean,
Don't
no.
want to be getting too close on the straight.
Samwise will defend. I guarantee you he has an Uzi in that car. He will. You will not.
Samwise races in a turret, basically. He's a defensive position.
If he's playing a Wreckfest, he's got his full armour on. Is it plus or minus X minutes? Plus. So in plus 10 minutes, it'll be that.
Yeah, so with the ACC Drive app, like the overlay, it gives you a countdown of when the rain is coming.
Oh, that's a little bit of a hack there, Tarquin.
So that's nice. So John is using it, so he might have some more information than Lucas will have.
Yep.
That's a poor run from Samwise, but Cole gets on power a little bit too early.
Go side by side here. He's costing himself so much time because look who's behind.
Yeah, Jack Oman is joining the game in B5 already. Absolutely crazy, not even halfway for the race.
Oh, Samwise is flying very close to the sun coming back across. He's going to make sure that he doesn't make contact when he does that. As Giacomin has said, welcome, lads.
So your 3 has entered the game.
Welcome to the party, pal. We might see a 3 wide here, and I don't think it's going to end well. As you can hear, Lucas got off the throttle extremely soon, and that's how you do it. You're not going to gain anything because they're going to defend and cost each other time. Switch back, perhaps. Please
You'll
no.
have to, it's not a place you want to go side by side.
Especially when Johnson has a car ahead, he has to worry about first not to hit him. Oh, down to Tosa. See, oh, a little bit deep there. Johnson says, "No, Luca, let me have him." I think Samwise is in a bit of trouble here. Maybe one of them pits. I think pitting might be a good option. But who's going to bite the bullet?
I would say it would have been a good shout for Carl to jump in maybe a lap or 2 ago before Luca joined.
Yeah. And there
Yeah,
might be a
that's-
4th car. I see Robert Fluke is absolutely flying in the background in that Lamborghini. And you see the gaps. Look at the gap between Burrs and Holmes. It's 14.7 seconds.
I mean, these guys have probably cost themselves 4 or 5 seconds just in the last 2 laps. And there is your 144.6.
The first 2 rounds, did we see any rain?
I can't recall actually. I think
Not as far as I know. Ooh.
I think all of it might have just been sent to the BMWs.
I reckon, by the sounds of it.
I'm actually surprised not one of them is pitted there.
Wow, that's close. Okay,
There's always going to be contact there.
I think Carl's would it be beneficial there to maybe just lay out of that a little bit. Luca is flying, and to tuck in behind and just try and follow Luca past. Because Samwise is a very defending defender, and sometimes gets himself in a little bit of trouble.
John in the box, so he's the first of the leaders to pit along with Mr. Prin. So it'll be interesting to see how long Lucas stays out.
So no rain in blue so far. There's a couple of the drivers in chat.
I don't think we had any rain in red before I moved as well, so
Oh, Luca, you
This
are
is
a
the-
brave individual if you throw it up there.
it'll be interesting because Samwise is one of the most defensive drivers I've driven against, and Luca is one of the most aggressive overtakers I've driven against, so this should be an interesting battle.
Yep. Oh, one around the outside.
That's a move and a half,
If I'm
alright.
Samwise, I'm pitting right now. Yep, get in there.
And he is.
You've done your bit.
Carl's decided to follow him straight in.
First staying out, Giacomin running in P2, obviously that is not a net position.
Oh, this is a nice little spicy 3-car. McIntosh is going to lose 2 positions in a single corner. Daffa is trying to make his way back up the field after serving a drive-through for a jump start.
Jump start and a half.
Yep.
Yeah, that's like a space jump start. It's like a zero gravity jump start.
I think that's one of those incidents that's going to go down in OOR history.
Yeah. These things happen. Not often, but yeah.
Do they?
We can say they
I
do
think
now.
that was an exception.
If you said 4 of the top 5 drivers would have jump started by about a minute, I wouldn't have believed you. But
these OOR moments always seem to happen here at Imola.
yeah, yes, it is a Lakers livery chat. I'm trying not to give it any airtime. It's had enough airtime. No, much love to you, Velasquez. As John Soneca's disgusting looking car. I think that's a back marker.
Yeah, blue flags waving in the background.
Yeah, that's Mr. Peterson.
You'll be happy to know that it looks better with the metallic top. It was matte pink before on top. So he improved it accidentally. That might be a warning.
That's
definitely
wide, that's
a warning
wide,
if
that's
you stick
wide.
his fiddle in
A
it.
little bit wide.
Rain is increased apparently 20 minutes to heavy. Is there a chance?
Premature acceleration.
Just-
Sorry.
I like that.
that's
That
really
should be their team name next week. Is there a chance to stay out there till the rain, pit for wets, and gain something out of it? Or are you just going to
There-
lose too much time?
There
Probably
is,
going to be the
but
pit window.
I don't think anybody feel that long. You lose too much feeling that heavy from the start of the race. So I'd be very surprised if anybody starts the race with more than about 60 liters of fuel, probably.
You just never know.
Burrs in the box. So I'm interesting to see. He's moving. Where is John? There comes
There
John.
is.
So he will get him.
Premature acceleration. That is very good.
So I think the one saving grace for the guys will be it's fairly hot, the track as well. So it won't go wet all that fast. It'll Oh, these guys have resumed again.
Lucas stayed out. Oh, they're going to cost themselves so much time. Lucas going to have that position easily.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, he was ahead of them anyway before the pits, so. Ralahay saying difficult to judge the race was on 2 rows in front of you, just go at the start. Yeah, that is fair enough. It's hard not to react to what's happening in front of you.
Exactly right.
But that's
You're
what
still-
the green flags and lights are for.
Don't watch the cars, watch the lights.
Lucky Nabil making his way back through. He is back up into P12 as well, so the recovery is ongoing. All over the back of Lucky here.
What are we off to next week? Anyone know?
Not sure. Don't know, actually.
Oi! Fluky has just taken off. Ain't you? I'm surprised he didn't loop that car there. He's done a good job to hold that. Cheesy garlic bread. That's his favourite sporting team, as Carl and Samwise are connected at the hip. Bartlett, Barker,
we are
and
at-
Fowler.
Nürburgring next week.
Whew, that's right. The rookies have a wet race to practice and learn. That's deep.
Oh, that's deep.
Oh my goodness, how has he pulled that up?
Ow.
Carl Johnson, red brown
Millimetres
flag.
in it.
I don't get it. How? My my eyes do not believe what they have seen.
Oh my goodness, I reckon he's touched.
If there was an extra coat of paint on either of those cars, they would have been contact. That was very well pulled up there by Cole.
Oh, unlucky there, Jason. I can guarantee you we didn't see you bin it after Tosa into the fence in your livery of Liverpool variety. We definitely didn't see that and broadcast it, so you're fine.
And we definitely didn't see the bonnet almost pointing towards the sky.
Bad luck,
You
mate.
guys mean there where he hit the curb on the outside and been
Oh, don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Could
that one
be.
we
No,
definitely
not that
didn't
one.
see that.
No, definitely not that one.
100%. No, that wasn't him. That was
No,
different.
that was another car, yeah.
Let's see when
Unfortunately, we'll have
goes
those
into
bad
race.
races.
That's an actual good point you make there, Tack Grant. So I'm actually looking into that for patrons. I'm trying to find a way to get really high resolution images of you and yourselves and your cars in game. But I'm just trying to work my way around it because I reckon that'd be awesome to have on your wall.
Jason saying his car was stuck in first gear. That's not ideal.
It's pretty quick for someone stuck in first. Oh,
It's so frustrating. It's... Sorry.
Bastards, all of you. I'll accept that. Touching cloth moment. Yeah, bit of a turtle head poking out there for Carl. But these two battling again are bringing more cars into play. Cook 1.3 back, and he's got Nabil right on his back bumper. Lucas Burrs.
Come the end of the race, it is going to be anyone's going for P5.
Yep, Giacomin is in the pit, and I do expect him to come out in P3.
Yep.
Kefford, I am not sure about. I'd imagine 20th area as a guess.
He was right. I think maybe mid.
Maybe Samwise likes
30s?
this. I think Samwise likes having people around him. I think he's purposely slowing up just to have a bit of attention. Look at him. He loves
He
it.
just wants to
Probably
get on
knows.
stream.
Yeah.
Probably knows he's going to get on the stream for it. He wants more stream time.
All right, we'll show Carl then.
Like look at my in-game livery. Look at it, Mole. That's basically what Sam wants to say.
True. So Nabil's got past Cook. It doesn't say it on the left-hand side, but I know it's a fact. So Daffer is going to be chasing down Johnson 1.5 seconds back. Kyle Johnson showing a lot of patience, reminding me of Ashlyn Reynolds. Ashlyn is very good at sitting right behind you for lap after lap and very clean. Can Kyle Johnson do the same here for Kovacs? It's so tempting to throw it up there. Oh,
Like
wow.
that.
Oh my, no! Carl, you're giving me... How have you done that? Carl, you are flying way too close to the sun here, mate. And there's Daffer. Samwise is made of something because I don't know how he hasn't been hit yet.
I honestly, I'm going to have
How?
a long conversation with Carl after this because he has some kind of hacks that makes the nose of the BMW shorter in certain instances. That was ridiculous.
Marshall's going to run out of brown flags at this rate.
I've run out, I'll tell you that. I have to change my pants because that was...
It's not where you want to have your Aston running.
So the battle for fourth. Holmes, Johnson, Nabil, Cook. Flick's a little bit too far back at the moment, 3.5 after his little excursion off the sausage.
I won't be surprised if all this battling still gets him back into this by the end of it.
Yeah, he's just seen there. Velasquez isn't too far back either. But 90 minutes to go. We are expecting rain before this race concludes. Samwise, a little bit of a breather. Or Carl about to test the front of his car again. I just cannot believe... Here we go. I cannot believe that they haven't made contact yet. That's surely...
If it were a drive-through, I'm wondering if that's for track limits or...
Yeah, that or pit speed. He's just come out. I don't want to see contact here unless it's side by side and a little bit of wheel banging and no one spins. Back in the day, this game wasn't very good at side on contact.
It's getting better.
It's getting better,
Fortunately, as
definitely.
it did.
It's why I like
It's
watching the
getting better.
BMW M2s.
Oh yeah,
They
sure.
need to T-bone each other and still not move.
Well,
It's because it weighs about 9 tons, but... Alex, what happened to you? Why do you beg to differ?
I just had someone miss their brake marker a little bit behind me and put me at the back of the field.
Oh yeah, can't do much about that though. No, was the contact pretty hard though?
Not overly hard, but just enough to unsettle it during a heavy braking zone under turning as well.
Oh yeah, the weight transfer of the car doesn't like that. As Staffo's going to have a look on the grass. Oh my goodness. Now it's Carl's turn to channel his inner Samwise Holmes. Oh, that's a send! That's definitely contact!
Oh,
Carl trying to defend too heavily, forgets about the car ahead, and Samwise has been absolutely shafted. We saw that
And
coming
we
about
can blame
27
Mac Daddy
times.
for this, for saying clean racing, Carl, and then that happens.
Mac Daddy,
Hold on, Mac
that
Daddy.
is a fine if I've ever seen one.
that's all on Mac Daddy. Nobody else. That's not even Carl's fault. That's just Mac Daddy's fault.
Oh wow, so that really shakes it up. Samwise is back into 8th, and after defending perfectly for half an hour, he's lost out big time. Carl Johnson, you can definitely guarantee he's going to be visiting the steward's office before this race ends.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think he just got a little bit caught up with Nabil and forgot that it's a downhill braking zone.
Yep, and once you've missed it, there is nothing pulling you back.
Yeah, it's a tricky braking zone when you're just hot lapping. It's when you're going side by side through there. It's incredibly difficult to exactly manage where to brake.
Just sliding through the field a little bit here. That is my job for the weekend, is to fix these classes.
Convicts and colonials.
Let's go back up the front. 1 second. Lucas is hanging around. The rain is due in 10 minutes time. So we're going to see about 5 or 6 minutes of rain here. Oh, can you
it's reduced to light rain now, so that helps.
Well, I imagine they should be able to hold on fairly well, particularly at the front of the field.
Famous last words there, Alex.
Oh, you know it.
There we go, 15-second penalty there for Carl Johnson. No doubt he
Thanks,
was
Mac
expecting
Daddy.
that.
For the 52, appropriate
Sorry,
number.
Carl. You forgot the $15 extra for his penalty. Nah, it's fine. I'm joking. Don't do it. But
Wait, what's Samwise numbers? 245. That's the number. isn't it?
Yes. It was actually his number's 2,450, but we couldn't put the 0 on. Can John hold on? JP.
Yes. I think, maybe. I don't know. Possibly he might die. I don't know. Many things may happen. This race has proved fairly unpredictable so
I think
far.
you gave every possible answer there.
I was
Covering all
trying
bases.
Yeah, he was trying to hedge his
Okay.
bets a little bit to get the wrath of his brother when he curses him.
Either way, I'll be correct, so it's okay. That's basically
It's valid.
rain.
Could
is
this
7
be-
minutes 48?
The ugliest car to be leading a race.
Yes.
I'd say probably.
It's in the conversation. Let's just say that.
So the question is, predictions. At what time will it start raining?
6 minutes, 10 seconds to go.
5 minutes 50.
I'm gonna go with 8 minutes 9 seconds.
Right, I'm not going to remember that.
Very specific.
What we're giving specific answers. Luca with the fastest lap, and last I saw he was 16 seconds behind these guys. Based on the pace that these guys are doing, he won't be able to close that gap. It is 15 now, but he's going to run out of time, unfortunately. But P3 is one hell of a recovery from where he started, so well played there.
I wanted to say podium when we're putting the predictions in, but I thought that's asking a bit too much. Considering what happened with the 4 cars that jump-started, he'd be 7th. And who said 7th? I'm going to take the win here. I'm claiming it. I'm claiming it.
I mean, okay, fine. You're the boss, whatever, but no.
I'm claiming it. I was closest to the pin no matter what. Unless tragedy strikes. Oh, 333 is off. That's Ryan Pring. Who's Ryan Prang?
He had a bit of a prank, yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. Good car. Well, I don't think you'd be saying that at the moment. I didn't see what happened, but P18 at the moment. Gary Lau from Hong Kong is sitting in 16th, right behind another Honda. I'd tell you what, based on these Endurance Series entries, the Honda's getting a lot of love now.
It's a much better overall car now than it was before.
Yep. We've seen a nice
It used to
variety
be-
of cars in there.
It's good to see at least, you know,
Yeah.
it's not a McLaren and BMW spec cup.
Certainly looking forward to that new Endurance Series kicking off.
I think what we'll do for the Endurance Series, if we have a patch that changes the cars, we may allow a car swap. Because it's something that's so much out of our control of what these patches do to the cars. It kind of kills the mood for you when you have to race a car that now feels like shit. So that might be an
Yeah.
option we do.
It's a difficult one to gauge because it's very seldom where they absolutely ruin a car.
Oh.
They make little adjustments here and there that affects it, but apart from the BMW that got nerfed back to the realm of normal cars, where it was in a class of its own when it came out, it's still fairly competitive.
Yeah. Well, this rain doesn't last long, but even though there's only 5-6 minutes left of the race when it starts, it's clear. 30.
Yeah, the Honda at Spa now is a joke. It's so fast. I mean,
Nice.
it does crash a lot, but
Oh, sounds like Matt's bar. Oh shit, there goes my mouse. Yeah, those that
You
have
didn't
entered
see that.
teams to the Endurance Series and haven't got a team livery, if you're a patron and want a team livery, as I'm not sure what I've just witnessed there,
That was a bit too much of the curb, I
I
think.
have to go back, see what Jacob's done.
Side by side, is he? Yes. Doesn't always play out well. Nope.
Oh, it wasn't
Nibbled
much,
too much
eh?
of the sausage.
It's just Macca things.
Yeah, but if you don't have a team livery and you're a patron, get in touch with me and I'm happy to help you out. I'm not going to be doing the world's best logo, but you'll get something that you like. I've seen some great entries so far for these logos. Big fan of Rockets Evolved's new one, and Race Venturas.
Race Ventura Pet Detective is one of the best names I've seen.
Yep, I've told Stefan Bushtold as well. I'd love to see a logo for Break Czech Republic because I love that name.
Speaking of, I do have to make an apology. He is not German, but in fact Swiss.
Ah,
And he did give me the pronunciation of his surname. It's Bachtold.
I told you it felt like a German way to say it. I don't have enough phlegm in my throat at the moment.
I mean, I'm just wondering, the fact that he has a Swiss flag was not a clue, or
Yeah, maybe he's.
You remember, most of the time I see people, it's in the steward's office where I don't have the flags.
fair enough. Fair enough. I'm sure Mr. Bechtold will accept your apology.
Chad's saying, to hell with Patrol Castle being don't announce tracks in advance. Well, we're not. So for every single round, every single event, 4 weeks prior, we start a vote for 2 weeks or a week. And you have a choice of 4 circuits to vote for. Obviously, if you've got a car that suits a certain track, you probably spam that track, but also you have to do 7 or 8 hours at a certain circuit that you don't like, just because the car's good at it. You have to weigh that up.
I have to give some props to Loudest Howard for the Yoda joke. That's a fairly well laid one.
Curb too much into it. Thanks, Yoda.
Seeing as what Yoda. So, okay, my prediction for 8 minutes and 9 seconds is going to prove incorrect, unfortunately.
That's a lot of damage, Evan. Gavin? Maddie, I'm pretty sure Imola's had the face masks on the crowd. Oh, no.
Oh no!
Oh, no!
Oh, hold the brakes!
That's so unlucky. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Imola's had the face masks on the crowd the entire time that it's been out.
Yeah,
I'm glad you just noticed it, Maddie. And the rain is coming down here. 7:38.
Looks like we were all wrong.
It's time of death. I'm trying to change the view. Get out of there.
And
So it gets a-
immediately it's gone greasy.
Yep, so it's light to a little bit of medium rain. It was that heavy, but it's only brief.
It'll be until the end of the race, basically, so it should be okay. The dry tires are workable up until a damp track. Once it goes wet, you need to box as soon as possible.
Does the track that gets lowest votes get dropped? No, whatever's got the most votes is that track for that round. And the other 3 tracks get deleted off the vote. And then for the next round, you get 4 new tracks on the list. Unless the American DLC is out, and then you'll see those feature quite heavily in the votes, all the voting options. Samwise Holmes, oh, what do you know, defending against Velasquez.
Samwise defending? That's unusual. Oh, that was a...
Woo, that straightened up quick.
What the hell was that? That looked like a bad player almost.
Well, Samwise probably does have a little bit of damage.
Well, he does still have the imprint of a BMW M4 on his rear quarter panel, so probably not ideal.
I hear those are hard to get rid of once you've got them.
Yeah, especially with the size of the grill.
That's
It's quite robust.
I thought it was going to be Tears there.
John has started his lap. That should mean there's 3 laps remaining, probably. Somewhere around. Oh no, Samwise.
Oh,
Samwise lost the rears.
Yep.
Velasquez and Samwise just, I think it was Fluke that got past.
Yes. It was a bit of a no. You. No. I insist. You. No. You. You go.
Oh, it's gone deep now. Samwise is giving the position up, taking it back. I really do feel for Samwise. He's raced very well tonight.
I think the fortunate thing is he didn't lose out in terms of race positions too much on that incident, but obviously not ideal. As we see Velasquez go on the inside into turn 1. Samwise trying to hang around the outside, brave in this weather. Side by side for turn 2, and Velasquez should have it done by the exit. Oh, no, he gets a bit of a moment on. Samwise back in front. Right.
Nice
Driving
battle
up
finish the
around
race
there.
off.
So John has gapped Lucas a little bit, 3.4 seconds. Giacomo only 9 seconds behind that, which is ridiculous. Nabil also some props on the recovery as well, back up to P4.
Yeah, that's stellar. So who do we have that were the drive-throughs? It was Shady,
Nabil, Raleigh,
was the fourth one.
and Barker, I believe.
Barker. So
Yeah.
Barker's up to 16th. You see both of them really struggled to pull the car up there at Aqua Minerale. Track is
It's
now
now
rated damp.
moist.
Three minutes 40 to survive. Burrs has cut a little bit of time out of Sanika's last few sectors. Extended again, so never mind.
BMW is not fantastic in the wet, but I'm not sure how good the Honda is now. The Aston, on the other hand, is phenomenal in the wet, so should be advantage Mr. Velasquez here.
Yeah, Aston loves it. So does the Nissan, I'm pretty sure still.
I think it's still good in the rain, yeah. This weekend at the Endurance, the Aston was just, it's a car that is
There's
part
someone
that not we want to be. It's one of the B-minus. Who is that?
Chalmers.
Just getting out of the way in advance of the blue flags coming through.
It's good awareness. There's only 2.7 behind now. Chipdom 7.
Oh.
Oh! Saves it. Is he playing on a pad? It must be on a pad.
I was about to say,
Definitely.
that's a pad
Yeah,
or
that
that's
looks like a pad.
keyboard. Oh, he's lost out big time. Samwise can breathe easy. Mitchell Hayes moves up into the top 10. 2.7 seconds, Sanikas and Burrs, but I just don't think there's enough time. That's a nice drift.
2 more laps as John crosses the line now.
3.4.
3.4.
They're swapping that around a lot.
153 on that lap, so 2 more laps then.
245 is around. You know who that is?
Samwise.
That is Samwise Holmes.
I'm gonna bet this is self-inflicted, unfortunately. Yep, just onto that curb. Not where you want to be. That's a Lando Norris moment.
Yeah, you gotta stay off the curbs in the rain.
An absolute swarm of cars sneak on past.
Right, man. Leader is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
Oh, he'd be fuming. I'm glad he's not commentating next. So Samwise, who was in the fight for that top 4-5 position, is all the way down to 14th. Once that timing sheet updates. They've been chat there for Samwise. At least the one of them was self-inflicted. JLS.
That's JLS, yeah.
Interesting
Taking
line.
the scenic route.
Well, that's deep. That's interesting lines there, JLS. John. I said JLS because delivery. Fuck you. JLS, look what you've done to me.
Oh, track has gone wet for the final lap. This is going to be interesting.
He doesn't quite have... Not quite close. Oh, you have to... You'll get another lap in, won't he? 25 seconds from there. Does he slow up to finish?
I don't think the gap is big enough. Nah, he won't be able to. He's going to cross the line with about 10 left. So
Yeah.
we got final lap. That was a 155. I think this is basically the crossover point where you would want to be on the wets, but obviously nobody's going to take that now.
Track is rated wet. So very slippy end of this race. Especially if you pitted early. Your tyres will be like driving with McDonald's trays on your bottom of your car. That's John Sonekas just giving tips out here. It's the way to take that.
Must be the wet line.
It's a way to take that. I'm not sure it's the way to take it.
It's definitely a way. You're right. I always wish that ACC on the broadcast show positions gained from start as a default setting.
Yeah, that'd be good.
It's just one thing. It's the gap.
Is that the
Oh, that's how you.
Georgie boy.
That's not how you
Oh,
make
no.
friends here. George Fowler, unfortunately, getting in the back to his Lamborghini counterpart, Robert Fluke. Blasting Macca's trays. I don't know if you've done it before, but it's hilarious when you do it.
Not for a long time, but when I had my 1993 Corona 1.6 GLE, we did do it quite a bit in our little cul-de-sac.
Kmart car park for us. Hilarious.
As we see,
Final corner.
Sonicus, final Roberta, will get the win in the wet. Very well done. Lucky with a bunch of jump starts, but overall well managed throughout the race.
I can safely
Part of
say
motorsport is luck.
the Sonekas brothers did win the brothers challenges round for sure. Don't know who else is competing, but well done, Burst. P2, Jack Homan, P3 from the back of the grid. Hats off. That is a fantastic drive.
That was very good from Giacomo.
Daffa is going to pick up P4 after serving a drive-through for a monumental jump start. Cook's moved up a few. He's going to finish 5th. Carl's only going to lose one position with that penalty.
Do that then. Unfortunate for Sam Weiss, but you know, it's the way racing goes, unfortunately.
That's it. That is it. George Fowler's going to pick up P7. Probably
Actually,
expect a pen.
I think Fowler would get a penalty, so Johnson might not lose any positions, actually.
That is a very valid point.
Yes, I do imagine there's quite potentially a penalty hanging over his head there, so
Velasquez, Hayes, Fluke would be fuming. Someone in the background spun right at the end there. That's McIntosh. That's a lot of damage on McIntosh.
He's had a race to forget, unfortunately.
What's he done? What's he done? Oh, he hasn't. He has. He's done it the last corner. Oh, the worst spot.
Oh, that's just...
That's the worst spot he could have done it. That fence.
might have knocked over some of the silverware doing that.
David Barker, 16th. He also had the drive through. Gary, where are you off to, champ? This is probably the dry line by the looks of it. Here he comes to finish us off
Testing
for
out the
round.
new BMW lawnmowers.
It's got the grill. It's ready for it. What's this team in the crowd at last turn? I have no idea. But well done, everyone that actually finished the race and didn't jump start. There's a way for this thing to update.
And Buddy saying congrats, even though your car looks like melted ice cream.
So where are we off to next week? Nürburgring, correct?
Yep.
Yep.
Excellent. Come on. So in about 10 hours' time, North America will be dancing around Imola for their split blue and their split red. If you're awake in Australia, make sure you jump in there. It's about 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And it has been amazing racing in that series of North America so far.
Normally get some pretty good and close racing from our
We do.
fellow North Americans.
Or if you're into F1, make sure you tune in Sunday. We're off to Monaco because why? I don't know why. It got voted by the drivers to race at this track this season. So if you want to see about 300 wing changes, tune in on Sunday night from 6 p.m. You've got Jamie Conboy and Jacob Weatherburn in the commentary box, ready to have a bit of a laugh, I think. But in saying that, I did say the same for Jeddah last week, and it was quite clean. Thanks, Jan, for tuning in. I don't think this game wants to kick over to the next session.
Is there anybody still out on track or something? Maybe that's what holds it up.
Well, it says Gary is. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
sure
sure
is.
Gary is.
Barker is still sitting out on track. Well, Nerb doesn't need to get in. But Nerb is a good track. Not bad. It's not as good as Imola, but it's not a bad track.
I don't think this is ever going to end.
If somebody just shouts at Barker to get back to pits, that should definitely help as well.
Thanks, Chad. And also thanks to Samwise, Alex, and Sean for Split Blue. And thank you, Alex and JP, for this split.
Thanks, guys. It was
Getting
fun.
too many Alexes.
Too many Alexes. It was Brad for a while, but they weren't commentating. We had like 12 Brads in OOR or something silly. So half the field have left the actual game and it still hasn't kicked over. David, can you possibly do the same? This game has said, there we go. God, that was boring. All right. So to finish us off, Sneakers, Burrs, and Giacomin in the top three. Nabil, Cook, Fowler, Johnson, Velasquez, Hayes, and Weatherburn into the top 10. Rounds that out, and as you can see, there's a little bit of disappointment in the back. Priyanada didn't get many laps in. Safety car did more, apparently finished 37th. And obviously, Shady unfortunately got DSQ'd after serving a drive-through. So,
After not serving it, though.
yes, without serving a drive. That's a very good point. So no doubt that'll be a drop round there for Shady. We'll be back this time next week as we head to Nürburgring. Other than that, we'll say goodbye for tonight and see you in about 10 hours for North America.
Cheers,
See you guys.
Good night.
See you later.
Catch you all later.